Chapter 1349. Wei Mingdai looked at the people on the square and said to the people behind her, "It's them." "Yes, City Lord." Siyu tugged on Sima Yoyue's clothes and bowed to Wei Mingdai, saying, "Greetings, City Lord." "Greetings, City Lord." Sima Yue, Di Wu, and Mu Si bowed as well. Wei Mingdai looked at Little Black on the ground and frowned slightly. "Who does this underworld beast belong to?" "Yes, it's mine," Sima Yue replied. Wei Mingdai looked at Sima Yue, not knowing whether to be happy or angry. When Sima Yue's forehead was covered in sweat, she said calmly, "Not bad. City Lord, we should quickly seal this thing," Wu Man reminded, interrupting Wei Mingdai's observation of Sima Yue. "And sorry to trouble you." Wei Mingdai nodded at Wu Man and walked around Sima Yue and the rest to the side of the pool. Sima Yue saw that she was standing there motionlessly and was worried that she might have discovered something. If they really found out that something was wrong with Mi Air and guessed that she had contracted it, a battle would be unavoidable. Although she wasn't afraid, it would be even more difficult to get information if she fell out with them before finding her father. "Master, don't worry. She won't notice anything wrong," Mi Air comforted. "Okay," Sima Yue replied in her heart. Although this guy was full of lies before the contract and wanted to kill him during the contract, he was still quite obedient after the contract. In fact, Mi Air felt very wronged. It did not expect Sima Yue to not only have Little Black to suppress it, she also had the purple top-grade lightning, which was its nemesis. She even had the divine bird Vermilion Bird's Nirvana Flame. No matter which one it was the nemesis of all nemeses. If it had the slightest intention of rebelling, it would have been completely annihilated by them. Since he could not resist, he could only accept it. Although it was uncomfortable to be bound by someone, it could tell that Sima Yue was not a fish in a pond. She would definitely soar into the sky. It wasn't too bad to follow this kind of person. The most important thing was that it didn't have to stay in the pool anymore. Its master often ran around, and it could follow her around to see the world. Freedom. Freedom. When it thought of this, it couldn't help but cry. It was a smart guy. After thinking it through, it accepted its fate. That was why it treated Sima Yue sincerely. Although Sima Yue believed Mi Air's words, she was still worried. Luckily, Wei Mingdai only paused for a while and waved her hand. A seal sealed Mi Air's avatar in the pool. She then turned to Sima Yue and said, "I heard from Wu Man and the rest about what happened before. This time it's all thanks to you and your spirit beast. When this matter is over, you will be rewarded. This is a forbidden area. I hope that after you leave, you won't tell anyone about what happened here. Don't come back in the future. Wu Man, you can bring them away." "Yes, City Lord," Wu Man said. "We will take our leave." Not only Sima Yue and the rest, everyone else left. Only Wei Mingdai was left in the plaza. She chased us out every time she sealed it. She's really afraid that we would learn the sealing method," Zhang Hao said unhappily. Sima Yue then knew that Wei Mingdai chased them out because she didn't want anyone to know the sealing method. This thing was too dangerous. If she was the only one who knew the sealing method, no one would dare to steal her power even if they had other intentions. This was why Zhang Hao hated her so much a few days ago, but he couldn't do anything to her. Since when wasn't she like this? What's there to be angry about? Could it be that she didn't chase us out and waited for us to learn it inside? Meng Sha mocked, but it wasn't clear if he was mocking Wei Mingdai or Zhang Hao. "Alright, let's go back first. See you, Si Qin. Follow me back to the north of the city," Wu Man said. "Aren't we going to wait here?" Siyu asked. They still wanted to know if that old witch had discovered anything so that they could prepare in advance. If they left, wouldn't they not know? City Lord would spend 2 days to seal it, and then rest for half a month. She's still injured now, so I'm afraid she'll need to rest even longer. So there's no point for us to stay here. Once City Lord recovers, she'll naturally call us over," Wu Man explained. "I see. Then little sister, let's go back with Auntie Man." Siyu held Sima Yue's hand and said. Wu Man opened up a space tunnel and brought Sima Yue and the rest in. After that, Meng Sha and the rest opened up their own space tunnels and returned to their own residences. When Sima Yue came out of the space tunnel, She knew why they had to use this in a city. This city was really too big. After they came out, the barrier protecting Musi also disappeared. Sima Yue was very grateful for Wu Man's actions. She saved Musi's frail body from the pain of being squeezed by the space tunnel. Mu Lianjia went missing to save her father. No matter if he was still alive or not, she decided to take care of Musi like her own little brother. Sigh, I just went out for a short while and I'm back. Siyu sighed. You've already gone out to play, and you don't even know how to return home. How can you say you just went out for a short while? I think you won't even remember what your home looks like after a while. The one who spoke was Si family's third brother who had just entered the courtyard. Third brother, how can I forget? Siyu went up to hold third brother's hand and said, Where's father and the rest? Si family's third brother scratched her nose and doted on her. They're settling some matters with the elders in the study room. They're still talking about not knowing when you'll be back. Auntie Man is already at our house. What is father still discussing? Siyu muttered. I heard that something big happened outside the city. Father didn't say what it was exactly. Si family's third brother said. Auntie Man, thank you for bringing little sister and the rest back. Sima Yue then knew that Wu Man had brought them back to the Si family. Wu Man nodded softly and asked, Where did it happen? It seems to be a place that leads to the ghost realm. Father said that he would discuss it with you when Auntie Man comes back. He still wants to discuss it with Auntie Man? Seems like something big really happened. Could it be related to what happened a few days ago? Siyu asked curiously. Don't look at me like that. Whether it's related or not, you'll know when father comes out. Si family's third brother saw the look in his little sister's eyes and knew that she was thinking about him. Just as they were talking, Si Kong, who had sensed their return, suddenly appeared in the courtyard. He, who had always loved his daughter as much as his life, acted as if he didn't see Siyu. He looked at Wu Man and said something happened. Chapter 1350. Wu Man's gaze darkened. Something that could make Si Kong so serious was definitely not a small matter. Siyu rarely saw such an expression on her father's face. Even she didn't see it, so she asked curiously, Father, what happened? You're back too? Si Kong then saw his precious daughter. Since you're back, go and rest. I'll visit you after I've finished discussing with your Auntie Man Wu Man. Let's go to the study. Okay. Wu Man nodded and disappeared with Si Kong at the same time. They could even disappear without opening a spatial tunnel. Such strength made Sima Yue think of the people around Feng Ruyan. They also disappeared from where they stood. Siyu watched as they left just like that. She pouted and mumbled. What exactly happened that father didn't even have time to talk to me? Si family's third brother also put away his usual cheerful appearance and comforted his little sister. Something big must have happened for father to be so anxious. Don't be angry with me. I know, Siyu said. I was just thinking that it must be something big for father to be so anxious. Why don't we go listen and see if we can help? That won't do. Third brother pulled her back and said, Don't forget father's rules. You can go anywhere except his study. Without orders, you can't go. Don't you have a guest? Why aren't you going to ask them to stay? Or do you want them to mess around with you? Siyu looked at Sima Yue and the other two and sighed, saying, All right, I'll bring little sis and the others to stay in my courtyard. The courtyard next to yours has been tidied up. Bring them there. It's close to your courtyard. Third brother Si said. Okay. Little sister, let's go. Sima Yue didn't say anything since the beginning. She didn't know what happened to Si Kong and the rest, but her instincts told her that it should be related to Mi air being contracted. But she had just arrived and it wasn't good for her to ask too much, so she could only follow Siyu down. Siyu brought Sima Yue, Mu Si, and Di Wu to the courtyard next to hers. In this place, River Earl didn't need to follow her. Instead, he was taken away by third brother for questioning. Regarding Sima Yu's situation, although the Si clan had supported her and helped her, they didn't know much about her situation. That was why they wanted him to understand her situation and find out who she was, and what her motive was. River Earl, come with me. Big brother and the others are waiting for you. Yes, third young master. Si Hui brought He Bo to his own courtyard. Big brother CZ and second brother CE were waiting for them there. Seeing them come in, the two brothers stood up and clasped their hands towards River Earl. River Earl. The young master of this family was actually bowing to River Earl. It was not hard to imagine how high his position was in this family. Thank you for your hard work, River Earl, CZ said gratefully. Big young master, you are too polite. River Earl bowed back. We have some questions for you. Please take a seat. River Earl sat down, and so did CZ and his brothers. Hebo, what's the name of the girl my little sister brought back? How did they know each other? What's her identity? CE asked. River Earl casually set up a spirit barrier to prevent people from eavesdropping. Then he said, that girl is called Sima Yue. She is Sima Lucian's daughter. Sima Lucian. How could she be his daughter? River Earl, are you sure? Si Hui said in surprise. It should be, River Earl said. Her purpose of coming here is to save her father. But her father? If people find out about her identity, I'm afraid that it will cause trouble. Si frowned. Why did his little sister bring back such a troublesome person? Young Miss likes her very much, River Earl said. According to my observations these few days, she is indeed a young lady worthy of being friends with. To be able to get River Earl's praise, this person is indeed not bad. CZ sighed. Isn't that so, River Earl? You rarely praise someone. Tell us more about her so that we can have a better understanding of her, CE said. All right. On the other side, CU brought Sima Yue and the others to an exquisite courtyard. She said, this courtyard was not used to entertain guests. But my father and the others probably guessed that I would want you to be closer to me. That's why they prepared this courtyard. If you think it's too small, we can change to another one. Sure. The three of us are enough. This courtyard is very beautiful. Sima Yue smiled. As long as you like it. Siyu saw that they did not seem to be faking it, and was happy. I don't really like servant girls, so there are fewer people around me. I'll ask Big Brother to send a few servant girls over. No need. I don't have the habit of using servant girls, Sima Yue said. But, since when do I have servant girls by my side? If you send someone over, I won't be used to it, Sima Yue said. All right then. When the time comes, don't say that I'm neglecting you. Why would I? Then I'll instruct the kitchen to prepare food for Musi every day. This way, you won't have to cook for him every day, Siyu said. Sima Yue wanted to reject at first, but she remembered that she had things to do later, and might not be back anytime. Musi really needed someone to take care of him here. Then I'll have to trouble you. If I'm not around later on, I'll need you to take care of Musi. No problem. With such a big sea family, having Musi wouldn't affect it at all. Thank you. Musi bowed to her. It's so rare for this fellow to take the initiative to speak to me. Siyu teased. Musi pursed his lips and didn't reply to her. Siyu, do you think that what your father and the others said just now has something to do with me, heir? Sima Yue asked. You feel that way too? Siyu said in surprise. I also feel that it might have something to do with it. But father hasn't said anything, so we don't know. Seeing that Sima Yue was worried, she smiled and said, Anyway, you're only here to find your father. Anything else doesn't matter. I'm just afraid that it has something to do with father, Sima Yue said. If you're worried, wait for father and the others to come out and we'll ask them what's going on. Siyu comforted. All right. In Sikong's study room, other than him and Wu Man, there were two other elders. These two looked very old and weren't ordinary elders. Wu Man was surprised to see the two of them. She nodded slightly at them, and the two of them nodded back. What the hell is going on? You actually alerted the two elders, the cat said. Chapter 1351. It turned out that those two weren't elders, but clan elders whose status was even higher than elders. However, the clan elders were generally those with relatively high strength in the clan. Usually, they would be in secluded cultivation and would rarely interfere with the clan's affairs. Since he appeared in Sikong's study today, it meant that the matter was indeed quite serious. Man heir, the mine is in chaos. Sikong's words made Wu Man's heart jump. She asked. The mine is in chaos. What happened? Just when you went to pick up the city lord. I felt movement at the mine, so I brought people to take a look. In the end, I found that everyone in the mine was dead. They're all dead? What happened? I saw it. The situation in the mine is chaotic. Sikong said. And according to the news we received, it's not just our mine. Other families are also having problems. Is the situation all wrong? The other families have sealed the news, but the problem that appeared around the same time as us, I think it should be around the same time. So I want to ask, did something happen in the forbidden area? Wu Man thought for a moment and said, nothing special. During those few days, only Yue and the others were there. Perhaps they know what happened. Then we can only call them over and ask them. Men, go and invite the young miss and her friend over. Yes, Patriarch. The guard at the door responded and left. Sima Yue and the rest had just settled down, and were preparing to walk around Siyu's courtyard when they saw the guards walking over. Miss, the Patriarch invites you and the guest to the study room. Father wants me to go to the study room. Siyu was a little surprised and exchanged glances with Sima Yue. He had just said that something big had happened, and now he wanted them to go to the study. Could it be that this matter had something to do with them? Yes, Mississippi. I got it. Go back and tell Father that we'll be there immediately. Siyu instructed. Yes, Mississippi. After the guards left, the two of them looked worried. It's fine if Father is looking for me, but now he's looking for you. Could it be that this matter has something to do with you? Could it be because you contracted me air? I think it's highly possible. Sima Yue said. Otherwise he wouldn't have asked me to go. I'm just afraid that the contract might have caused some trouble. I didn't see anything strange during the contract. What does it have to do with other places if you made a contract with something from the forbidden grounds? Siyu said. Although we didn't see it, it doesn't mean that it didn't exist. Let's go and meet your father. We'll know what's going on. Sima Yue said. Yes, that's the only way. Siyu brought Sima Yue to the study room. When the guard saw them, he opened the door and said, Master said to let you in directly. Sima Yue and Siyu went in together, and saw Wu Man and Sikong sitting on the main seats while the other two elders sat on the lower seats. Siyu was shocked when she saw the two elders and guessed that this was not a small matter. Father, Ant-Man, and the two elders. Sima Yue did not expect the two of them to be the elders of the tribe. If even the elders of the tribe were here, this matter must be no small matter. Greetings, Master C and Steward. She bowed to the two people on the main seats. Because she was not a member of the C family, she did not bow to the two elders. I called you here today because I have something to ask you. Father, please speak. Siyu maintained a calm expression. Did anything out of the ordinary happen when you were guarding the forbidden grounds? Sikong asked. Something unusual? Siyu's heart skipped a beat, but she did not show any reaction on her face. She frowned slightly and said, Did something happen in the forbidden grounds? Sikong saw his daughter's expression and understood. He sighed and said, If something happened in the forbidden grounds, you must tell us. Because the family has met with a big problem recently. Did something happen in the family? Is it related to the forbidden grounds? Siyu asked. Do you know where the family's mine is? Sikong asked. Siyu nodded. Third brother brought me there before. Did something happen in the mine? That's right. 3 days ago, for some unknown reason, the situation in the mountains became chaotic. Some of the mines directly collapsed, and all the miners in the mines died. Sikong said. The mine is related to the family's life. Now you know how serious this matter is, right? No matter if it was in the outside world or here, the mine was related to the development of the family's power. If the mine was gone, it could be said that the family could only walk towards extinction. No wonder Sikong was so anxious. It was indeed a matter of life and death. Since it was a matter of the family's survival, Siyu did not dare to hide anything. She looked at Sima Yue apologetically, but she saw her smiling at her. That meant that it was okay, just say it. What, did something really happen? That it was little sister. She made a contract with that thing in the pond. Siyu said. That fellow said that contracting it would not cause any trouble, so. Contracted? Everyone else in the room cried out in surprise. That thing was so powerful and scary. It was obvious to all. They didn't expect her to be able to contract with it. But I didn't feel that the thing in the pond had a contract with it. I didn't notice anything strange. Wu Man said. The thing in the pond was Mi Er's clone. It said that as long as it broke off from the clone, it would not be noticed. Siyu explained. So you're saying that this matter was caused by that thing in the pond being contracted? Zikong frowned. Father, Mi Er said that contracting it would not cause any trouble. That's why Yue made a contract with it. Siyu explained. And Mi Er is quite pitiful. Ever since it had intelligence, it had been suppressed in the forbidden area by the city lords for them to cultivate. It was because of this that it wanted to come out. Let's not talk about whether it's pitiful or not. It had intelligence from the power. Do you know that this fellow has been connected to all the powers in the mines in this space for so many years? Once it was contracted, all the powers would be affected. Wu Man said. How are those powers related to Mi Er? See, you didn't understand. Because it's equivalent to the king in there. Those powers will be affected by it. Also, they are connected underground. Isn't Mi Er in the pond? That's not a pond, Zikong said. You won't understand even if I talk about this now. Z. He looked at Sima Yue. He still didn't know her name. C family head, I'm Sima Yue. What? The three C family members were shocked when they heard her name. The way they looked at her changed. Wu Man thought of something and her gaze dimmed. Chapter 1352. Sima Yue. You're that person's daughter. Zikong looked at Wu Man with a complicated expression. Wu Man blinked and put away all of her emotions, saying, Let's talk about the matter at hand now. That's right, let's settle the matter in front of us first. Zikong said. Little friend Yue, can you let us see that contracted beast of yours? Sima Yue agreed. With a thought, a miniature version of her appeared in front of everyone. This is what she looks like. No, she changed her appearance for me. Sima Yue said. She doesn't have a shape, does she? One of the elders said. Force is a natural force, so it doesn't have a specific shape. Yes. Sima Yue didn't hide anything. Siyu and Hebo were both there at that time, so they knew the answer immediately. If the current situation was really caused by it, then it might be able to turn for the better. Wu Man said. It's possible. Siyu looked at Mi Er. Why don't you try? That. Sima Yue saw that their attention had shifted to Mi Er and completely ignored her. She said, Actually, if the force is messed up, it will be fine if it is cleared up again. That's right. Siyu slapped her head, scaring the others. You, what's wrong? Little sister. Little sister. Siyu pulled Sima Yue's hand. If Mi Er is useless, you can let little sister do it. Everyone was stunned for a moment before they reacted and asked Sima Yue, Are you a seeker spirit master? Yes. Sima Yue admitted. Yes, he is a seeker spirit master. It is not strange that you are a seeker spirit master as well. Wu Man muttered. However, the situation is completely chaotic. Can you guide them? Zikong knew about the situation in the mine. He did not believe that Sima Yue could do it. After all, she still looked too young. Even if she had received the inheritance of her family, she might not have studied it thoroughly. She couldn't be as monstrous as her father, right? Her father. Thinking of Sima Luxian, he sighed in his heart. How the world made fools of people. I can't guarantee it now. I have to go and see the situation first. Sima Yue said. Then let's go and take a look. Zikong said. The seeker spirit master and the family has been there for 3 days. They haven't found a solution yet, so you have to be mentally prepared. Zikong appreciated Sima Yue's attitude. She didn't directly say whether she could or couldn't. She didn't boast nor was she too modest. Sima Yue. Yue also had a good impression of Sima Yue she not. And on Yue's, the Yue, Lu Yue. Yue's face. Eyes of Yue of course, Yue's use her. Yue. Sco. Of time. Yue of Yue Yue of course. Zikong's words of rejection were stuck in his throat. Then you can't run around. It's very dangerous there. You have to stay by the elder's side. I won't run around. See, you promised. Then let's go over now. The two elders stood up together as if they had a telepathic connection. Si Kong and Wu Man also stood up. They opened a space tunnel and brought Siyu and Sima Yu in. When they came out of the space tunnel, they were already on top of a mountain range. This mountain range was different from the ones in the past. Every mountain was incomplete. Some were broken in half, some had many holes, and some had turned into a pile of rocks. In the pile of rocks, there were bloodstains that had just dried not long ago. It should be from those who were absent from work. Sima Yue noticed that there was a barrier outside the mountain, preventing the power from running out. Judging from the impact of the barrier, the power in the mountain was restless. Seeing that Sima Yue noticed the barrier, Si Kong explained, "This was set up by the elders immediately after the incident." The elders reacted quickly. Sima Yue said, "The power in the mountain did not dissipate much, so it did not affect the mine much. However, there is no way to mine like this. After a long time, the mine will be destroyed." Every vein would be accompanied by a formation of potential when the ore was formed. The power in every mine had its own path of activity. What a spirit seeker had to do was to figure out the path of the power, so that the absent workers could avoid those places. This was commonly known as the opening of power. If the opening of power was not done well, it would either release all the power, which would affect the level of the mine, or cause the power to be chaotic and destroy everything in the mine. Also, if the absent workers could not figure out the direction of the power, and did not avoid it when they were mining, they would activate the power. In the end, the absent workers would die together. Therefore, no matter what, it was something that humans did not want to see. Therefore, the power was very important. Generally speaking, the power in the mine was more stable. If there was no big movement, they would not be in such a mess. Si Kong saw that her analysis of the current situation was very accurate. He believed that she had some understanding of the spirit seeker. Not far from where they came out, there was a group of people analyzing the situation below. When they saw them coming, they hurriedly went forward to greet them. "Greetings to the steward, master, and elders." Si Kong waved his hand and asked them to rise. He asked, "How is the situation now?" "Master, the power in the mine is still in an uncontrollable state. We are useless. Not only did we not guide them back to their original position, we almost let them break the spirit barrier." One of the white-bearded elders said guiltily, "Elder Yan, you don't have to blame yourself. This is sudden and we have never encountered this before. It is reasonable that we did not think of a solution. I just hope that everyone can find a solution soon. This matter will only get more troublesome as time passes." Si Kong said. "We will do our best." Elder Yan said. "Yue, these are the spirit seeker of the family." Si Kong introduced, "If you have any suggestions or opinions, you can tell them." Si Kong said it very tactfully. He had to give some face to the elders of the family. If Sima Yue could not think of anything, it would not be embarrassing for her to say it like this. "Okay." Sima Yue nodded. "Master, this is?" Elder Yan saw that Si Kong was so polite to Sima Yue, and was curious about her identity. Yue is also a spirit seeker. There are very powerful elders in the family in this area. Therefore, I asked her to come over and see if she can think of a solution. Si Kong explained. Chapter 1353. Si Kong explained why he wanted to bring Sima Yue here. And old Master Yan and the rest did not take a good look at her. "Really? Since that's the case, if little friend has any ideas, please don't hesitate to enlighten us." Elder Yan said. "Elder Yan, you're exaggerating. If I can think of anything, I'll definitely tell you." Sima Yue said. Regardless of whether he was sincere or pretending to be polite when he said those words, it was already very rare that he didn't look down on her. "Little sister, let's go take a look at the situation." Siyu said. She didn't expect the family's mind to become like this. She was a little worried. If it wasn't handled well, wouldn't the family be doomed? Sima Yue could tell that she was worried. Thinking that this was caused by her contract, she felt a little guilty. "I'll go take a look." After saying that, She flew to the top of the mine and circled around. She even landed on the barrier to check. Patriarch, can she really do it? Elder Yin waited for Sima Yu to leave before asking the question in his heart. Sikong didn't have confidence in her either. Let's just give it a try. What if she can think of something? The situation in the mine is completely messed up. Even Elder Yin can't sort it out. How can a little girl like her figure it out? A middle-aged man behind Elder Yin said. I really don't have a way right now. If someone can do it, it would be even better for the clan. Elder Yin said. Elder Yin is indeed wise, the person behind him praised. Elder Yin didn't have much of a reaction to their flattery. Instead, he said worriedly and expectantly, I don't know if she'll be able to think of a way. It would be great if there was one. That's right, Patriarch. Did the other clans also encounter the same thing? Did you get any news? Something did happen to the other clans, but they sealed off the news, so we don't know the specifics. We don't know if it's the same as us. But according to some of the clues we have, it should be about the same. Why did all the mines suddenly have this problem? Did something happen? Elder Yin immediately grasped the root of the problem. Sikong glanced at Sima Yue from afar and said, We'll have to investigate further before we know the exact reason. The most important thing now is to restore the mine. Father, can little sister do it? Siyu was a little worried. Although she felt that Sima Yue shouldn't be a problem, there were so many seeker spirit masters at home who couldn't do anything. It wasn't enough to just believe. It shouldn't be a problem. After all, she is his child. Wu Man muttered. Sima Yue spent 2 hours investigating. She only flew back when she had a good understanding of the situation. How is little sister? Do you have a way? Siyu asked impatiently. I'm almost done with the situation. It's much more serious than I thought, but there's still a solution, Sima Yue replied. So you have a solution? I'm not very sure, but I have a friend. If he's here, there should be no problem. Sima Yue did not give a definite answer. Where is he? Hurry up and invite him over. Hearing that there was a way, everyone became excited. He came to Go City with me, but due to the special circumstances, I asked him to hide first. Then we'll send someone to look for him immediately. My friend's hiding place is rather secretive. If I don't go, he won't come out. Sima Yue continued. So I'll have to trouble you to send me back. I see. Although Si Kong and the rest were suspicious, it wasn't the time to get to the bottom of it. Since she said so, they would just do as she said. I'll send you back. Si Kong opened a space tunnel after speaking and brought her back. After returning, Sima Yue left alone. She wanted to find a secluded place and release Third Mo from the little realm. Si Kong wanted to send someone to follow her, but she rejected him. If people found out about the existence of the little realm, there would be more trouble. Si Kong knew that it was inconvenient for her, so he could only agree. However, he didn't notice that after Sima Yue left the Si family, 2 people secretly followed her. Sima Yue walked towards a secluded place, and the 2 people who were following her were secretly happy. They were thinking of how to lure her to a secluded place, but they didn't expect that she would follow their wishes without doing anything. Not long after Sima Yue left the Si family, she realized that she was being followed. There was only one possibility for someone to follow her. Her lips curled into a slight smile. Since they wanted to play with her, she would play with them. The 2 people followed Sima Yue to a secluded place, and they realized that the more secluded the place was, the faster she walked. They were afraid that she would find out, so they didn't chase too closely. Why did this girl come to such a secluded place? Could it be that she found out about us? Both of us are half-step monarch rank, and that girl just entered the monarch rank. How could she find out about us? That's true. No matter what she's doing here, it's convenient for us to do what we want. We have to catch her without alerting the Si family. Previously, we were worried that Miss Si would be with her. I didn't expect her to come out by herself. As she's gone. As they spoke, they chased Sima Yue into a small alley. After a few turns, they suddenly realized that she was gone. She must be nearby. Let's search. This was a rare opportunity, so they had to grab hold of it and bring her back to report. Are you looking for me? Sima Yue's voice came from above them. The two of them looked up and saw Sima Yue sitting on the high wall, smiling at them. Although she was smiling, the two of them felt a chill run down their spine. She was so close to them, but they didn't sense her aura. What did this mean? You don't have to look like you saw a ghost, right? Sima Yue touched her face. She should still be pretty. Why are you here? Of course I'm here to wait for you, Sima Yue said. Both of you have been following me for so long. How can I let you continue to be tired? So I waited here and asked what you wanted to do. The two of them were shocked. She had already discovered them? When did it start? With her abilities, how could she have discovered them? However, no matter how shocked they were, they had been through a lot and quickly calmed down. Since you already know, then there's no need for us to say anything more. Are you coming with us obediently? Or will we beat you up and bring you back? Sima Yue smiled and said, You're from the Zhang family, right? I don't intend to go with you. Since you're here, then stay and talk. How does the Zhang family plan to deal with me? Chapter 1354. When the two of them saw that Sima Yue had guessed their identities, they didn't deny it. Instead, they pointed at her and said, You killed our young master. You even killed the young miss of the Meng clan, and the guards of the Pang clan. You've captured the young master of the Pang clan. Green Light residents. Oh, who said that I killed those people? Do you have evidence? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. We have witnesses. Witnesses? Yes. Yangzi said that he heard you and Musi admit it with his own ears. So you should be obedient and be captured. Hearing Yangzi's name, Sima Yue did not find it strange. Ever since she came here, the only people she had interacted with were Zhang Peng and Yangzi. Yangzi was originally good to Musi because of the treasure map left behind by Mu Lianjia. Now that he saw her taking Musi away, it would be strange if he was not anxious. He probably saw that she and Zhang family were not on good terms because of Mi-Er, so he ran over to slander her. Oh, actually it was not slander, but to them, it was more or less the same. Zhang family was looking for an excuse to kill her, and he happened to find it. To Zhang family, wasn't this like someone giving them a pillow when they were sleepy? So they immediately sent people to capture her. They even sent 2 half-paragons to capture her. For someone who had just entered the monarch level, this was already considered a big deal. It was probably because this was the north of the city that they did this. Unfortunately, even with 2 people it was still not enough. Mi-Er, I'll leave these 2 to you, Sima Yue said. The 2 of them heard her words and did not know who Mi-Er was, but they saw black smoke coming out from her hand. The black smoke spread very quickly, and soon half of the alley was filled with it. This is, when the 2 of them saw Mi-Er, their blood started to flow backward and their bodies turned cold. They saw what happened a few days ago. They had seen Mi-Er before, but they did not expect it to become her contracted beast. Zhang, whose strength was stronger than the 2 of them, but they could not resist in front of it. Then Mi-Er, hurry up. We'll be in trouble if we're discovered, Sima Yue urged. Right now, that old witch was still in the city. If he was discovered, it would be difficult for him to escape. Mi-Er also understood that within 2 breaths of time, a person was shrouded in the black fog and then slowly shrunk. When it returned to Sima Yue, there were only 2 skeletons left on the ground. TSK, you're quite efficient, Sima Yue praised. Of course, Mi-Er said proudly. These things are just a piece of cake to me. No matter how powerful they are, I can easily deal with them. If not, Mi-Er stopped talking, but Sima Yue knew what he meant. If she hadn't forced it to form a contract with her, it would have gone out to live a carefree life. Even if it wasn't number 1 in the world, it could at least sweep the world. However, all her beautiful dreams were shattered in the end. It didn't manage to conquer the world, and only became her contract beast. She didn't care about its thoughts and released a few scarlet bees to guard nearby. Then, she opened her little realm and walked in. Once she entered, she was immediately surrounded. Sister Yue, you're finally in. Are you alright outside? Little Helper was the first to speak. Huang Yingying hugged her and scolded. You child, why don't you let us out after bringing us in? Do you know how worried Grandma is about you? Yes, yes. Sister Yue, let us go out together. You're really messing around. Sima Xiu's face was sullen, but his eyes were filled with concern. All right, Grandma. I can't breathe if you hug me like this. Sima Yue patted Huang Yingying's back and said coquettishly. What did you call me just now? Huang Yingying let go of her with a face of surprise. Grandma. Sima Yue didn't know what happened to Huang Yingying. Ha ha, Grandma. Xiu, did you hear that? She called me Grandma. Huang Yingying said excitedly. I heard it. Don't be so excited like a child. Sima Xiu said. What's wrong? Sima Yue looked at the two of them confusedly. Child, no one used to call us Grandma. You don't know how much I want someone to call me Grandma. Huang Yingying hugged her and said excitedly. Sima Yue looked at her. She didn't expect that the way she called her Grandma would make her so happy. Since Grandma likes it so much, I'll call you Grandma from now on. Okay. Huang Yingying smiled happily. It made people think that she encountered something happy. And Grandpa, Sima Xiu added. Okay, Grandpa. Sima Yue also called him. She looked around and didn't see Wu Lingyu's figure in the crowd. Where's Lingyu? Did he fall into a deep sleep? Yes, he just fell into a deep sleep 2 days ago. Huang Yingying said. I'll go and see him. Sima Yue sensed Wu Lingyu's location and walked away eagerly. Huang Yingying looked at her back and shook her head helplessly. A grown girl can't be kept at home. They love each other. It's normal for her to be worried. Little Helper said with a smile. Sima Yue came to Wu Lingyu's room and saw him sleeping on the bed. She reached out and touched his handsome face. Then she moved her hand down to his wrist and took his pulse. You're clearly not in good health, but you still followed me here. What should I say about you? She leaned over and planted a kiss on his lips. Then she saw his fan-like eyelashes flutter open. You stole a kiss from me. His voice was a little hoarse after sleeping for 2 days, but it had a fatal temptation. He reached out and hugged her body, not letting her get up. Sima Yue didn't expect him to wake up at this time and be caught red-handed in front of everyone. However, she wasn't shy. She laid on top of him and said, Why did you wake up so quickly this time? Yeah, it's not time to sleep yet. I'm conserving my energy now. When you really need it, I'll be able to help. Wu Lingyu said. How is it? Seeing how good I am, are you going to reward me? You're already in bad health, and yet you still followed me. You're lucky that I didn't punish you. How dare you ask me for a reward? Sima Yue pinched his nose. All right, since you're not willing to give it to me, I'll just have to ask for it myself. After Wu Lingyu finished speaking, he flipped over and switched their positions. Now she was at the bottom and he was on top. Without waiting for her to speak, he kissed her deeply. He wanted to steal her sweetness and tell her how much he missed her. Sima Yue reciprocated his feelings. She missed him too. She missed his kiss and she missed his taste. After a long time, the two separated. Both of their faces were a little red from the kiss, and their breaths were a little hurried. You're such a torturous vixen. He kissed her face again before asking, Why did you come in at this time? Under the Eaves revision notice. Under the Eaves will be revamped into a sub-column under the Eaves. The front page of Under the Eaves will be revamped on 6/15 from 6/15 onwards. Read. The revamped front page, navigation bar, long story. The address of the front page of the board will be changed to Chapter 1355. The online book cafe guaranteed that there would be no pop-up windows forever. Sima Yue let Wu Lingyu lie down while she leaned into his embrace and rested her head on his shoulder, saying, Something happened outside, so I came in to ask Shameless Third for help. Is there anything he can help with? Wu Lingyu's hand, which was wrapped around her neck, pinched her face instead, indicating that he was unhappy. There's a problem with the mine. Sima Yue explained the situation. So I want Shameless Third to go out and help. Humph. Wu Lingyu was unhappy. He was good in other aspects, but he wasn't good at finding spirits. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked her to ask Third Mo for help. Don't worry, if anything happens, I'll definitely ask you to come out and help, Sima Yue said. I'll go out with you, Wu Lingyu requested. Why do you want to go out? Sima Yue looked up at him. Your body isn't stable now, it's too dangerous to go out. I'll be able to hold on until we save father-in-law, Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue wanted to reject him, but she thought that this guy was actually worried about her safety. Although his condition wasn't stable, it was fine as long as she didn't let him do anything. All right then, but you have to promise me that you won't do anything when you go out. Otherwise, I'll throw you in, she threatened. Okay. The two of them stayed in the house for a while, then went to find Third Mo and the rest. Third Mo heard about the situation outside and agreed to go out and help. Huang Yingying also wanted to go out, but was rejected by Sima Yue because there were too many people and they would be a big target. Now that they hadn't found her father's whereabouts, it was useless for them to go out. Instead, they would attract attention because of their aura. Huang Yingying couldn't persuade Sima Yue, so she could only agree. However, she also agreed that once they found her father's whereabouts, they would go and save him together. Sima Yue and her scarlet bees sensed for a while, and after confirming that there was no one in the alley, she opened her little realm and went out. She recalled the scarlet bees and brought Third Mo and Wu Lingyu back to the sea residence. Before coming out, Wu Lingyu had changed his aura to that of darkness. Mo-sen had used some sort of treasure to change his aura to that of darkness. The three of them arrived at the sea residence. When the guard saw her return, he secretly thought that her speed was quite fast. Could it be that those people were hiding nearby? However, she didn't dare to voice her suspicions. Instead, she bowed towards them and said, "Young miss, Patriarch said that you've returned. Go directly to the study to find him." Study. Sima Yue recalled that she had entered the study room from the backyard, but she did not know how to enter the main entrance. She looked at the guard and said, "How do I get to the study? I can't find the way. Can you show me the way?" "Yes, Mississippi. Please come with me." "Sorry to trouble you." When the guard brought Sima Yue to the study, Sikong was talking to two black-robed men. He felt that Sima Yue had come. It just so happened that he knew about the things here. He waved his hand to let the two of them go out. Sima Yue happened to pass by the two men at the door. "Yue, these two are the friends you were talking about?" Sikong stood up from his seat and cupped his hands towards Third Mo and Wu Lingyu. "Yes," Sima Yue said. "This is Third Mo. He's much better than me when it comes to searching for spirits. This is my senior brother Wu Lingyu. Since they're already here, let's hurry over," Sikong said anxiously. "What's wrong? Did something happen over there?" Sima Yue noticed that he was even more anxious than before and asked. "The situation over there is still fine. It's the other clans," Sikong said. "I just received news that the other clans are also in the same situation as us. However, some of them aren't very powerful. For example, the Zhang clan. If they know that our situation is so serious, I'm afraid they'll change." When Sima Yue heard that the Zhang clan wasn't affected much, she had an idea. However, before that, she had to settle the situation over here. "Let's go over then," she said to Sikong. Sikong opened the space tunnel and brought them in. Wu Man, Elder Yen and the rest didn't expect Sima Yue and the rest to arrive so quickly. When they saw them, they were surprised. "This is the place," Sikong said to Third Mo, "Shameless Third. Let me bring you to take a look at the situation." Sima Yue said, "I've already marked out a few points." "All right." She marked out the areas that needed more attention and where the situation was better. This way, it would be easier for him to check. Wu Lingyu followed the two of them. Although he wasn't very familiar with this place, he didn't know these people. Naturally, he had to follow Yue. "Master, are the people Yue found reliable? I hope they're reliable." Sikong's expression was very serious. "What's wrong?" Wu Man knew that something had happened when she saw his expression. "I just received news that the other clans are in the same situation. However, the Zhang clan isn't affected much. If we don't restore the mine, I'm afraid that the Zhang clan will take this chance to attack us," Sikong said. "Now that we're focusing all our energy on this place, if the Zhang clan attacks us now, it might affect us," Elder Yen said. The city lord is back now. That Zhang Hao doesn't dare to do anything now, Wu Man said. However, when the city lord leaves, Zhang Hao will probably do something. He's already ready to do something now. The city lord will still leave? If I'm not wrong, she'll leave after she recovers, Wu Man said. Or go there. Yes. Speaking of this, Wu Man didn't say anything else. She looked at Sima Yuyue and Third Mo. With Sima Yuyue's lead, Third Mo's investigation time was indeed shorter. After they understood the situation, they returned. Yue Master Mo, how is it? The tracks of the influence here are almost completely destroyed. It won't be easy to restore them, Third Mo said. So there's a way? Yes, but it's a little troublesome. And we need a lot of people to do it. Hearing that there was a way, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. I wonder what method Master Mo has. Elder Yen cupped his hands towards Third Mo and asked. This is Elder Yen, right? I heard from Yue that you're a seeker spirit master. Third Mo returned the greeting. I'm not familiar with the people here. I'll tell you the method in a while. So I'll need Elder Yen to do the details. Tell me? Elder Yen was a little surprised. Most people would hide these things like treasures. Why would he tell him? Of course. After I tell you this method, I'll need Elder Yen to see if it works. And I think that the people in your clan will naturally listen to you, Third Mo said. Sima Yue heard his bureaucratic words. Actually, she knew that Third Mo couldn't do anything. If he did, his identity as a dark spirit master would be exposed. The only official website of the online book bar. Everything else is fake. Chapter 1356. However, only she and Third Master Mo knew the real reason. They didn't plan to tell anyone, so the C family praised his selfless actions. Copy URL access. Elder Yan, I'll tell you the method first, then we can discuss it. If it's feasible, we can start organizing people. Third Mo said with a serious face, as if he was really a serious person. Even Sima Yue was almost fooled by him. She pursed her lips at him when no one was looking. You really know how to act. Third Mo raised his eyebrows at her. I can be serious too. Sima Yue rolled her eyes at him. But this guy really had a bit of style when he was pretending. Elder Yen and the others behind her couldn't see her strange movements. Hearing Third Mo's words, they said excitedly, Good, good, good. Please enlighten me, Master Mo. Let's talk upstairs. Third Mo said. Please. The group of people flew to the top of the mine. Third Mo and Elder Yen were in front. Every time they stopped at a place, Third Mo would tell them what to do. At first, the others didn't understand what he meant, but after he connected all the dots into a line, everyone looked like they suddenly understood. So that's how it is. Everyone, let's force them back. Then we won't need anyone at their original place. That way, they can return to their original position. Elder Yen clapped his hands and said excitedly. That's exactly what I meant. Third Mo cupped his hands towards Elder Yen and said, Then I'll leave the rest to Elder Yen. Master Mo, you're being too serious. This is the C family's matter. I'll immediately report to the Patriarch and send someone to try it out. All right. Old Master Yen left excitedly with his men. Sima Yue and Third Mo did not need to do the rest. They only needed to watch from the side. After everyone left, Sima Yue looked at Third Mo and teased. I couldn't tell that you could be serious. When have I been indecent? Since when are you serious? Sima Yue rolled her eyes at him. Little sister, will this method work? Siyu snuck a glance at Third Mo. Her gaze was different from usual. It shouldn't be a problem. Sima Yue said. I've thought of this before, but I don't know where to go in and where to go back as well as Rascal 3. That's why I asked her for help. Is that so? Siyu smiled and didn't continue asking, but her eyes would occasionally glance at Third Mo. Elder Yen went to talk to Si Kong. Soon the family brought over the people they wanted. Sima Yue did a rough calculation. There were about 1,000 people, and they were all above the monarch level. To be able to casually gather so many experts, the Si family's strength was indeed not to be underestimated. Third Mo helped Elder Yen arrange the manpower while Sima Yue and Wu Ling retreated to the side to watch. She realized that not only did the C family go on stage, even Wu Man went on stage. Because Siyu wasn't strong enough, she was shunned to the side. Siyu, is Auntie Man on good terms with you guys? Sima Yue asked. Yeah. Auntie Man and my father grew up together. Siyu continued. Auntie Man is an orphan and doesn't have a family, so our family is also considered her family. So that's why. No wonder Si Kong immediately went to find Wu Man to discuss this matter. Speaking of which, why is the Zhang family the least affected? From what I know, the Zhang family's mine is the closest to the forbidden area, so they should be the most affected. Siyu didn't understand. Even Mi Air doesn't know why the mine will be affected, let alone us. Sima Yue continued. I hope the matter here can be settled quickly so I can go find my father. After this matter is settled, I'll bring you to find Auntie Man, Siyu replied. Alright, thank you. Sima Yue said gratefully. Alright, there's no need to say this between us. Siyu stretched out her hand and held her shoulder. Little sister, I have a question to ask you. Go ahead. Are you on good terms with Third Mo? Siyu looked hesitant, which attracted Sima Yue's attention. Don't tell me you've fallen for him? Sima Yue was shocked. After knowing her for so many days, she had never seen her shy. Not really, Siyu denied. I just have a good impression of him, just a little. Sima Yue didn't expect Siyu to have feelings for Third Mo after just meeting him for the first time. Was this the legendary love at first sight? I've known Rascal San for a long time. Sima Yue continued. He's a wanton person with a weird temper. When he's outside, people respect and fear him. He's a good friend, but I'm not sure if he's suitable for a relationship. Only the person involved knows. What is he usually like? His likes, he used to like drinking, but after he got drunk, he doesn't even drink anymore. As for his hobbies now, I don't really know much since we're not together. Sima Yue actually didn't think that Siyu would really fall for Third Mo, so she didn't take it to heart. Siyu still wanted to ask her about Third Mo, but when she saw Wu Lingyu on the other side, she felt embarrassed and decided to wait until it was just the two of them. Moreover, the C family members were all in position. Under Elder Yan's arrangement, they cooperated and injected their spiritual energy into the enchantment, trying to force the force back. Her attention was also drawn to that side. How long will this take? It was rare for Wu Lingyu to ask a question. It depends on the situation. If it's fast, it'll take 3 to 5 days. If it's slow, it'll take around 10 days. It'll depend on Rascal San and Elder Yan's cooperation, Sima Yue said. She saw that the situation was complicated, but with Third Mo around, everything was still in order. Just as she expected, after 3 days, the situation in the mine gradually stabilized. After 5 days, the mine was completely stable. That's it. Siyu asked uncertainly. The force has been restored, but the damage from before can't be restored. Sima Yue said. It's already not bad to be able to do this. Third Mo is so amazing. Siyu looked at Third Mo with a burning gaze. These few days, when she saw him and Elder Yan commanding those people, their serious expressions were so handsome. Once they finished, everyone felt very tired. Si Kong left some people behind to handle the remaining matters, and brought the rest back. As long as the mine returned to normal, absenteeism was a small matter. When they returned to the C family, the others went to rest while the main members went to the study room. Sima Yue saw that Wu Man was planning to leave and pulled on Siyu's clothes. Don't worry, I'll bring you to find her tonight, Siyu said. Sima Yue thought that Wu Man must be tired these few days, so she nodded in agreement. Chapter 1357. That night, Sikong held a banquet to thank Sima Yue and Third Mo for not being able to find Wu Man. He thought that Wu Man would attend, but Sikong said that Wu Man was too tired and had a lot of government affairs to deal with, so she didn't come. That night, they drank more than usual, and only left when the sun rose. Third Mo drank more because many people came to toast him. When the banquet ended, he was already drunk. Wu Lingyu supported him, and brought him to the courtyard where Sima Yue and the others lived. He randomly found a room and threw him into it. How violent. Sima Yue leaned against the door with her arms crossed in front of her chest. She chuckled when she saw him throw her onto the bed. It's good enough that you didn't throw it on the ground. Wu Lingyu didn't like to interact with other people. If he wasn't Yue's friend, and if it wasn't for the fact that she would help him if he didn't do it, he wouldn't have helped him. Siyu came out from behind Sima Yue and looked at the two men in the room. She asked, "Is Third Mo okay?" "He's fine. He's just drunk. I gave him some pills to sober him up. He'll be fine after a good night's sleep," Sima Yue said. Oh. Siyu looked at the person on the bed. This was the first time she was worried about someone drunk. "How are you?" Sima Yue asked her. "What?" Siyu came back to her senses and remembered that she was asking about her current situation. She replied, "Of course I'm fine. I drank your fruit wine. It's not like I'm drunk. If you don't have any questions, let's go find Manager Wu Man," Sima Yue said. "Alright, I know you're anxious. Let's go to Ant-Man's residence now," Siyu said. "But is it really okay to leave Third Mo here?" "It's alright. I'll let Di Wu and Mu Si take care of it later," Sima Yue said. "Moreover, this is your house. Are you still worried?" "You're right. Let's go then." Siyu smiled and ignored Sima Yue's teasing. Wu Man's residence wasn't far from Si residence. They arrived after walking for an hour. When the guard saw Siyu, he bowed to her and let them in without needing to report. Not long after the three of them entered the mansion, they saw a person dressed like a scholar walking towards them. When he saw them, he stepped forward and bowed, saying, "Miss Yu, why have you come?" "I'm here to look for Auntie Man. Is she around?" "She's resting. But she said if you bring a girl here, you can go find her. She's in her room." Did he know that she and Sima Yu would come? "I got it. I'll go with my little sister. You can go ahead. Go to you, go to your to go. You see you brought Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu to Wu Man's courtyard. She had been here countless times and was familiar with the place. She originally felt that it wasn't good for a man to go to Wu Man's courtyard and wanted to let Wu Lingyu wait outside. But looking at his attitude, he probably didn't want to. There were two maids guarding Wu Man's courtyard. When they saw them, they said, "Men are not allowed to enter." "Lingyu, why don't you wait for me outside for a while?" Sima Yue said to Wu Lingyu. "We should be out soon." "All right." Siyu didn't expect Wu Lingyu to agree so easily. Previously, he followed Sima Yue like a shadow. He only followed her to the toilet. "Young master, please come to the living room for tea," a maid said. "No need, I'll wait here," Wu Lingyu said. He's still following her. Siyu thought to herself. She knew it. How could he follow her? It was only because he listened to Sima Yue's words. And this was a female's courtyard. If not, he would definitely follow her in. "Miss Yue, please follow me." The servant girl led the two of them into the courtyard. The moment Sima Yue entered, she realized that Wu Man really liked red. The flowers in the courtyard were red. The house was dark red. Even the decoration in the room was mainly red. The maid brought them to the living room in the courtyard and said, "Please wait here, master will be here soon." She left after saying that. Not long after she left, Wu Man walked in. Siyu and Sima Yue quickly stood up. "Ant-Man, Steward Wu." Wu Man sat on the main seat and said, "I've already told you when we were in the forbidden area. You can call me Ant-Man like you?" "Yes, Ant-Man," Sima Yue replied. "Ant-Man, we're here today to look for you," Siyu said. "I expected it." Wu Man sighed. "That day, he told me that he wanted to find the child's mother. I didn't expect that after so many years, I would see his child with my own eyes." "You mean my father?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes, your father, Sima Lu Xian." Wu Man fanned herself from time to time. "When I heard your name, I guessed that you must be looking for your father. Then Ant-Man, can you tell me where my father is?" Sima Yue asked urgently. "I do know where your father is, but I can't tell you." "Why?" Sima Yue didn't understand. She could tell that Wu Man had feelings when she mentioned her father. Why didn't she want her to save her father? "That place is too dangerous. If I tell you, you'll definitely save him regardless of the danger. If you go there, there's no chance of survival. Even if I tell you, it's useless. Wu Man said. But I'm here to save my father. No matter how dangerous it is, I have to go. I will save my father. Sima Yue said resolutely. Ant-Man, please tell me where my father is. I've been to the place where your father is. Wu Man didn't answer her request. Instead, she recalled the past. I saw him. He used his own way to resist. I said that I would save him, but he wasn't willing. He said that he didn't want to burden me, so he asked me to promise him one thing. Ant-Man, what did you promise him? Siyu asked. He said that one day, someone will find this place. Maybe it's his wife or his daughter. But no matter who it is, I have to stop you and not let you go near that place. And I can't tell you where he is. Sima Yue was shocked. Her father didn't allow anyone to tell him where he was. That showed how dangerous that place was. Her heart ached when she thought of the life jade that was filled with scars. Her father didn't allow them to find him because he didn't want them to be in danger. But she couldn't let her father suffer anymore. Father. Her heart ached when she thought of her father. Seeing that Wu Man didn't intend to tell her where her father was, she stood up and walked to Wu Man. She stretched out her hand in front of her. TXT download address. Mobile reading, book review. For the convenience of your next reading, you can add a bookmark at the top to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Fanbone would thanks for your support. Chapter 1358. Wu Man saw the thing in her hand and stood up in shock, her eyes filled with tears. I think you've recognized it. This is my father's life tablet. Sima Yue said. My uncle said that I was already like this when I was in my teens. 40 years have passed since then. And my father has been injured for 40 years. Moreover, it had become more and more serious recently. Now it was about to completely shatter. Ant-Man, my father can't hold on any longer. Towards the end, her voice was choked with sobs as she looked at Wu Man helplessly. Wu Man heard her words and her body swayed. She muttered. He said he would come out by himself. He said he would be fine. Ant-Man, just tell little sister. She came here to find her father. She won't back down if she doesn't find him. See, you persuaded. Besides, didn't Lil Sis contract me air? It's so powerful, it'll definitely be fine. Wu Man was still at a loss. She couldn't make a choice between her previous promises and her worries. Ant-Man, in the entire Ghost City, you shouldn't be the only one who knows my father's whereabouts, right? If you don't tell me, I will look for others. I won't give up. Sima Yue saw that she was still not telling her, so she kept the life jade and turned to leave. Stop right there. Wu Man shouted at her sternly. You can't go find someone else. Sima Yue turned around and looked at her. Why? Right now, the people outside don't even dare to talk about your father. If you meet her people, not only will you not be able to get any information, you will also be arrested. Her? Sima Yue narrowed her eyes when she saw Wu Man's fearful expression. Weiming Dai. Wu Man sat back in her chair, one hand supporting herself on the tea table. She sighed and said, Your temper is just like his, just as stubborn. He's as smart as he is. I'm my father's child. Of course I look like him. Sima Yue said. Auntie-man, I know that my father's name is a taboo in this city. Some people have even been arrested the moment they mention his name. Can you tell me what happened to my father here? Why was he trapped now? Where is he now? Wu Man closed her eyes. It was as if she could still see the last time they met. He smiled confidently at her, and said that he would definitely leave that place. The people in the room didn't speak. After a long time, Wu Man's voice slowly sounded. It was filled with exhaustion and heartache. When your father came here, it just so happened that something happened in the forbidden area. For some reason, the city lord had brought him along. That was the first time I saw him. Wu Man muttered, as if she was recalling and narrating. He recognized Mi Air's identity the moment he came. At that time, the seal enchantment was about to be broken by it, and for some reason, the city lord couldn't use spiritual power. He was the one who thought of a way to suppress it for 2 days, allowing the city lord to recover his strength and seal it again. Because of this, Wei Mingdai treated Sima Luxian as a VIP and invited him to stay in the city. Sima Luxian refused at first. At that time, he was so anxious to go to the ghost realm that he didn't have the mood to stay here. Thus, after staying for 2 days, he bid farewell to Wei Mingdai. At that time, Wei Mingdai had already fallen in love with him, or rather, she was deeply infatuated with him. Knowing that he was going to the ghost realm to find his wife, she said that this was a serious matter and couldn't be delayed, but in her heart, she didn't intend to let him go. She said that it would be her 1000th birthday in a few days. She hoped that he could stay and leave after the birthday banquet. At the same time, she promised him that she would find a few people from the ghost realm to understand the situation in the ghost realm. Sima Luxian didn't want to refute her. Secondly, he thought that if he could understand some information before going to the ghost realm, it might be helpful, so he agreed. In the next few days, Wei Mingdai did find some people from the ghost clan. Sima Luxian found them to understand some information about the ghost realm. Some of it was similar to what Yu Keluo told him, so he believed them. After a few days, Wei Mingdai's 1000th birthday arrived. The entire city celebrated her birthday. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that the whole world was celebrating. As for Sima Luxian, as a light attribute human, he received unprecedented courtesy at the banquet, which caused some people to be dissatisfied. So some people came to provoke him, saying that they wanted to see if the light attribute spirit master was stronger, or if the dark spirit masters were stronger. Although those people were dissatisfied and wanted to kill Sima Luxian, he didn't take it to heart. Just as he was about to fight, Wei Mingdai killed all of them. The banquet fell into a dead silence. No one knew why Wei Mingdai suddenly became so angry, but Wu Man, who was also a woman, knew why. But she sat in her seat and didn't move. City Lord, those people just wanted to compare notes with Brother Luxian. Why did you? Wei Mingdai looked at the people who spoke. With just a glare of anger, those people couldn't bear the pressure and knelt down. Luxian is the benefactor of Ghost City. How can I let you provoke him? She said faintly. Provoking him is provoking me. Why do I need your permission to kill 2 people? We don't dare. The people on the ground quickly expressed their stance. Even though they hated Sima Luxian to death, they didn't dare to say anything. Then get out of here. Those who could come to the city lord's manor didn't have a low status in Ghost City. She had already killed 2 people. In order to appease the people, even if she was the city lord, she couldn't casually continue to kill people. Those people left the city lord's manor unwillingly. The others looked at Sima Luxian with a different gaze and whispered below. Sima Luxian heard those voices. They were all saying that he was already the city lord's man. His brows furrowed. After thinking about it, he stood up and said to Wei Mingdai, City Lord, I have stayed in Ghost City for a long time. I said that I would leave after the city lord's birthday banquet. So, I would like to bid farewell to the city lord. I will leave early tomorrow morning. Wei Mingdai's flirtatious face darkened. Luxian, why are you in such a hurry? Today, I have something to announce to the people of the city. After saying that, she clapped her hands. 2 maids walked up with a box each. I once obtained an ice crystal condensed from the essence of the Eye of Earth. I heard that this is very helpful for you humans to cultivate. Wei Mingdai looked at Sima Luxian. Today, I will use this in Ghost City as my dowry. Luxian, are you willing to marry me? Everyone sucked in a breath. The wine cup in Wu Man's hand almost slipped onto the table. The 2 maids opened the box. The box on the left had a crystal clear thing in it. The one on the right had the city lord's jade seal. They looked at the things in the box. Was Wei Mingdai proposing in public? Chapter 1359. When Sima Yue heard Wu Man's words, her face turned as dark as her father's. That old bastard. You're already so old. Yet you still dare to covet my father? F***ck, you better not fall into my hands, or I'll let you know why the flowers are so red. She cursed in her heart. What happened next? Siyu, who was standing at the side, widened her eyes. She never knew that the old witch actually proposed in front of everyone. What was she doing 50 years ago? It seemed that he started his retreat 2 days before the city lord's birthday banquet. When she came out and asked about Sima Luxian again, she was warned not to mention this name again. She really didn't expect that something like this would happen at the birthday party she missed. After that, Sima Luxian's face darkened after Wu Man said these words. He had just said that he would leave tomorrow, but she actually said this in public. Was she trying to force him to stay? Unfortunately, he was never one to be forced by others. That day, when he saw his wife being taken away, he already hated himself to no end. Now, how could he accept another woman? City Lord, I've already told you that I have a wife and daughter. This thing is too heavy for me to bear. There was an uproar in the auditorium, and everyone looked at Sima Luxian as if he was an idiot. Wei Mingdai was the most beautiful person in the ghost city. She was also very strong, and was the city lord of the ghost city. Being able to marry her was the dream of many men. Moreover, she even took out the city lord's imperial jade seal. As long as he accepted it, he would be the city lord of Ghost City. However, he actually rejected it without even thinking about it. Rejecting beauty and power made those who had never been able to obtain them gnash their teeth in hatred. Wei Mingdai's expression didn't look too good when she saw him reject her so straightforwardly. But who asked her to like him? Luxian, I know that you're not mentally prepared for me to suddenly say this. However, this is also my kind intentions. Don't reject it directly. Think about it first. There's no need to think about it. I don't have any plans to stay. City Lord should take back your good intentions. Sima Luxian said firmly. Luxian. Wei Mingdai was a little angry that he kept rejecting her. City Lord, I just said that I will leave early tomorrow morning. Sima Luxian said. No, I don't agree. Wei Mingdai was furious. It's my freedom to leave or not. I don't think I need the city lord's consent, right? Sima Luxian said coldly. This is Ghost City, my place. Do you think that by going against my wishes, you can still come and go freely? Wei Mingdai said. Men, take Luxian away to rest. 2 guards immediately stepped forward. Young Master Sima, please. Sima Luxian looked at this situation. Were they planning to lock him up? A cold smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Before he could speak, Wu Man, who was sitting below the main seat, stood up and said, City Lord, today is your birthday. Don't be angry because of these things. Perhaps young Master Sima was unable to digest the news because it was too sudden. If this affects our relationship, then the loss outweighs the gain. Because of her interruption, Sima Luxian couldn't finish his sentence. Wei Mingdai also knew that Wu Man's words were reasonable. Her original intention was to keep Sima Luxian, not to fall out with him. She rubbed her eyebrows and waved to the others, saying, I'm tired. Let's disperse for today. The others looked at each other. The city lord was suppressing her anger now. No one dared to provoke her. Soon, everyone dispersed. Wu Man and Ming Sha also left. Only Wei Mingdai and Sima Luxian were left. No one knew what happened after that. They only knew that the next morning, the city lord's residence sent people to look for Sima Luxian. In the end, at the city gate, Sima Luxian fought with the city lord's residence. One person defeated 10 people of the same level. But Wei Mingdai came and chased him out of the city. She chased him in the direction of Sunset Mountain. After that, he trapped himself in Sunset Mountain. Wei Mingdai kept guard outside Sunset Mountain. Wu Man also took the opportunity to find Wei Mingdai and secretly saw Sima Luxian, who was trapped in the mountain. But because Wei Mingdai was suspicious, they only saw each other for a short while, and then separated. So my father is now trapped in Sunset Mountain. Sima Yue listened to Wu Man, and felt sorry for her father. Yes. So he is really there. You know about Sunset Mountain? This time Wu Man was surprised. Not many people knew about Sunset Mountain. Even many people in Ghost City didn't know about it. I know. Sima Yue nodded. Didn't Mu Lianjie go to Sunset Mountain? Thinking of him, she hesitated and asked. Aunt Man, do you know who went to Sunset Mountain 7 years ago? 7 years ago? You mean Mu Lianjie? Wu Man asked. Yes. He really went to Sunset Mountain? Yes. But he was found out by the city lord. In the end, Sima Yoyue's heart sank. He is really. What should Musi do? So you know about Sunset Mountain from here? Wu Man said. I am sure that Mu Lianjie is dead. I saw the city lord kill him with my own eyes. As for Musi, you better not let the city lord know about his existence. I know. Sima Yue nodded. The city lord must be furious that Mu Lianjie went to save her father. If she knew about Musi's existence, she might vent her anger on him. All right, I have told you everything you want to know. Ant-Man, what kind of existence is Sunset Mountain? Why is father trapped in there for so long? Why don't other people know about it? Where exactly is it? Wu Man stared at her. Seeing her stubbornly staring at her, she sighed and continued to explain. Sunset Mountain is the oldest mine. Because the situation inside is too complicated, no one dares to go there. Your father made use of the complicated situation to separate himself from the city lord. At the same time, he trapped himself in there. How powerful is the situation there? Is it more powerful than Mi-air? Siyu asked. Wu Man thought of the explosive power when Mi-air rushed out. Maybe they are on par. But that is still in the mine. The situation is more complicated. That's true. Siyu nodded. We'll have to let them compete to know who's more powerful. Sima Yu said. Is that mine related to the safety of the entire ghost city? How do you know? When I saw Wei Mingdai fight that day, I realized that she is very powerful. If it is just a simple situation, I think it is impossible for her to not solve it after so many years. It must be that the situation there is very important, so she doesn't dare to touch it. Right? Chapter 1360. Wu Man looked at Sima Yue. She did not expect her to be so smart. That is indeed the case. She opened her red fan and gently fanned herself. She had already emerged from her memories and returned to her usual self. The ghost city is a city that floats in the air. When it was first built, those people discovered that the ground was floating in the air. There was something dragging it from below, so they followed that force to search for it. Finally, they found the direction of Sunset Mountain. I didn't expect father to go to Sunset Mountain by accident. Although it's dangerous, there's still hope. Sima Yue said. Ant-Man, can you tell me how to get to Sunset Mountain? You want to go to Sunset Mountain? Yes. Do you know how dangerous Sunset Mountain is? Although I haven't seen it, I can imagine it. However, I also understand that if I don't go, father might. So no matter how dangerous it is, I must go. Wu Man sighed and lamented in her heart that both father and daughter were stubborn people. After a long time she said, Since I can't stop you, I'll tell you. Since the city lord is in the city, you won't bump into her if you go there. Sima Yue was delighted. She stood up and bowed to Wu Man, saying gratefully, Thank you, Ant-Man. Don't thank me. If you can really save your father, then quickly leave this place and return to your original world. Don't ever come back. Wu Man warned. I understand. Sima Yue nodded solemnly. The reason why his father was able to resist for so long was because of Sunset Mountain. If they left that place, they would have to face Wei Mingdai's pursuit. They didn't have the strength to resist. Then Wu Man told her how to get to Sunset Mountain. In order to protect Sunset Mountain's safety, an illusion array was set up outside. One had to pass through the illusion array before they could approach. Thank you, Ant-Man. Sima Yue bowed to Wu Man again. Have a good rest, we won't disturb you anymore. Now that she knew where her father was, she couldn't wait to save him. Although I told you the location, Sunset Mountain is so big, I don't know where he is now. When you go there, you must be quick because the city lord will be there soon. I'll try my best to stall her, but I don't know how long I can stall her. Ant-Man, that old demonic woman is so scary. If she knows that you are delaying her on purpose, will she punish you too? Si Kong asked worriedly. Wu Man chuckled. Would I be so obvious? What do you plan to do? Sima Yue asked. If Wu Man's life was sacrificed in order to save her father, both father and daughter would be unhappy. Wu Man didn't want to say anything at first, but when she saw Sima Yue's gaze, her smile deepened. Naturally, it's something that gives her a headache. Alright, there's no harm in telling you. Wouldn't this deepen the conflict between him and Zhang Hao? Since that was the case, he might as well go all out. If the two stewards get into a fight, she won't really ignore it. Wu Man said. You don't have to feel guilty or anything. The conflict between Zhang Hao and I is already very deep. If we don't explode now, it will be the same sooner or later. It's just been brought forward. Sima Yue knew that Wu Man said that so that she wouldn't feel guilty, but she would still remember this favor in her heart. This Wu Man was really affectionate towards her father. It was a pity that her father had a mother, so she naturally couldn't repay him. She was afraid that she would owe this favor forever. She bowed deeply to Wu Man, showing her gratitude in her words. Wu Man was a smart woman. When she saw her like this, she understood something and her gaze became even dimmer. When Siyu saw that Ant-Man who loved her so much was so unhappy, she couldn't help but sigh. Seems like it's really tough to like someone you shouldn't like. What about him? Would he be the right person for her to meet? Just at this moment, the servant girl from before walked in and said, Mistress, young Master Zhe is here. He said he's looking for Miss Yu, and Miss Yue. Looking for us? What's the matter? Siyu stood up and asked. He didn't say, but he looks a little anxious. The servant girl said. We just came out for a while and Big Brother is already here. Did something happen? Siyu said as she walked out. Sima Yue and Wu Man also went out. Zhe was waiting anxiously outside the courtyard. When he saw them come out, he heaved a sigh of relief. Big Brother, why are you here? Did something happen? Siyu went forward and asked. I just received news that the Zhang clan sent people over to capture you. So I came over to see you. Zhe was relieved. As long as they were fine, everything was fine. The Zhang clan dares to come here? They're really looking for death. Siyu didn't care about the Zhang clan and Li clan in the past because she never asked about these things. But recently, because of Sima Yue, she found out a little. Seeing that the Zhang clan actually dared to bully them, she was so angry that she stomped her feet. The Zhang clan is here again? They haven't given up yet. Sima Yue said. Again? Little sister, you know about this? When I went to look for Shameless 3, I was followed by 2 half-step Paragon rankers. After that, I killed the 2 of them. I didn't think that they would actually send people over again. Sima Yue said. Zhang Hao actually dared to stretch his hand over to my place. Looks like he really wants to shed all pretense of cordiality. Wu Man laughed coldly. She was still worried that she couldn't find a chance to shed all pretense of cordiality. This Zhang Hao sent himself to her doorstep. Alright, I'll send you all back. At the same time, I have something to discuss with your father, she said to everyone. Sima Yue and Siyu could roughly guess what it was. It was probably about dealing with the Zhang clan. Although Yue really wanted to go over immediately, out of courtesy, she still had to go back and inform them. Also, Third Mo and the rest were still in the C residence. She couldn't just leave them behind. The group of people returned to the C residence. Wu Man went to look for Si Kong. Sima Yue prepared to call Third Mo and the rest. After informing Si Kong, they would immediately head to Sunset Mountain. When she returned to the courtyard, Third Mo was already awake. This bit of alcohol was nothing to him. With her sobering pills, he didn't feel any hangover when he woke up. Sima Yue saw Musi and her heart ached. How was she going to tell him that the father he had been waiting for so long had actually died a few years ago? Musi saw that Sima Yue had returned and a glimmer of brilliance flashed past his cold eyes. He said, You're back? Did you get the information? Sima Yue walked over and looked at the young man who was taller than her by a head. She said, Musi, if your father isn't around anymore, do you want to stay here or leave with me? Musi's body trembled as he looked at Sima Yue in disbelief. My father, he's already. Seeing Sima Yue nod her head, his stubborn eyes instantly teared up. Ant-Man is very sure. She said that she saw it with her own eyes. Sima Yue knew that this was very cruel, but she had to tell him the truth. Chapter 1361. If she went to look for her father now, they might just leave to avoid trouble after finding him. So before that, she had to deal with Mu Si's matter. If Mu Si was willing to go with her, with Heartbreak Valley around, he would definitely be able to stand out. If he wasn't willing to leave, she could ask Siyu to let him live a worry-free life. Therefore, she had to tell him the truth and let him make a decision. Mu Si, I know you're upset right now, but I have to tell you the truth. She patted Mu Si's shoulder. I know where father is and I'm going to find him. Once they found it, they might leave and never come back. So, are you coming with me, or are you staying? She was leaving? Mu Si stared at her blankly. Father was no longer around. Was she going to leave too? If you are willing to come with me, I will definitely take care of you. If you want to stay, I'll let Siyu take care of you. Sima Yue continued. Or do you have any other thoughts? As long as it's what you want, I'll do my best to help you achieve it. Mu Si didn't expect to make a decision so soon. Thinking that she was going to leave him, he felt a pain in his heart. Sima Yue saw that he did not speak and thought that he was considering. She said, I still have some time before I leave. Think about it first. I'll bring third MO to bid farewell to Master C. If you want to leave with me, wait for me outside. If I didn't see you, I would have asked them. No, I'll go with you. Mu Si said, I'll leave with you. Don't you want to think about it? Mu Si shook his head. I stayed here to wait for father. Now that he's gone, there's no point for me to stay here. Yes, I actually hoped that you would come with me. Ant-Man said that your father was killed by Wei Ming Dai. If she knew of your existence, she might take her anger out on you. It's best to leave this place. Sima Yue said, since you've decided, come with me to bid farewell to Master C. All right. If someone else had asked him to go with them, he might not have been willing. But that person was her, so he was willing to take a gamble. Sima Yue brought them to the Minister of War. Perhaps Wu Man had already informed him beforehand, so when they arrived at the courtyard, no guard stopped them. The guard at the entrance directly went in to report. The guard quickly came out, gestured for them to enter, and led them in. Greetings, Master C. Si Kong waved his hand and said, I heard you're leaving. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. I'm really sorry for causing so much trouble for you these days. Apart from the mine, other things won't make a difference whether you're involved or not. Besides, you've already helped us deal with the mine. Sikong said, but if you leave, you have to be careful. Other than the Zhang family, some of the other families are not easy to get along with. Especially don't touch her. Everyone knew who she was. We will. Thank you, Master C. Sima Yue bowed to Sikong. Oh yes, I heard that the Zhang family is here to cause trouble again. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have come so early. To express my apologies, I'll give Master C a small gift. Sikong saw her take out a space ring and curiously took a look. He saw a black metal ball inside. It didn't seem to have spirit energy surrounding it like a spirit weapon. He didn't know what it was used for. What is this? This is called a thunderbolt bomb. You just have to inject spirit energy into it to make it explode. Sima Yue explained. Sikong used his mind, and a thunderbolt bomb appeared in his hand. Seeing the small metal ball, his mouth twitched. Is this useful for cultivators? If a monarch-level spirit master injects spirit energy, can it release the power of a monarch-level spirit master? And it only needs a little spirit energy. Sima Yue said. So on and so forth. Really? Sikong and the others had seen spirit weapons that could increase a spirit master's power, but this was the first time. If Master C is interested, you can find a place to experiment. All right. Sikong opened up a space tunnel and brought the people in the house in. When they came out again, they were already in a wasteland outside the city. I happen to be a monarch-level spirit master. Let me demonstrate for you. Sima Yue said as she took out a small metal ball. After injecting spirit energy into it, she threw it towards the mountain in the distance. Boom! A mountain was blasted into smithereens. Rocks flew everywhere. Luckily, they were far away and didn't get caught in the blast. Sikong and the others saw the power, and their eyes flashed with joy. They saw it clearly just now. Sima Yue only injected a little spirit energy into it, but it exploded with such a strong power. If it was used in battle, It would be very suitable to kill a group of people. And she said before that the effects of different levels of spirit energy were different. If it was someone more powerful, most importantly, this thing didn't use up any spirit energy. If the spirit energy of an attack was used to activate this, the power of an attack could activate at least 10 thunderbolt bombs. And the power would be even stronger. Most importantly, Sima Yue gave him a bunch of these things. Not just one or two, but a bunch. Thinking of the power this could bring, Sikong found Sima Yue even more pleasing to the eye. Originally, they were nice to her because of Siyu. They didn't expect her to repay them. But they didn't expect her to give them such a good gift. If they fell out with the Zhang family, there would be a lot of fighting. If they could use this, they would definitely drag the Zhang family down to their grandma's house. I didn't expect this thing to be so good. Yue, thank you for your gift. I like it very much. Sikong smiled and patted her shoulder, but he felt a sharp gaze staring at his hand. It was as if she wanted to dig out a D from it. He glanced at Wu Lingyu. He heard that this guy was her boyfriend. It seemed like he was a very possessive person. See, family head, since we're already here, we won't go back. Sima Yue said. We'll take our leave now. All right, you guys. Before Sikong could finish his sentence, he felt a ripple in the air. Very quickly, 2 guards walked over. Steward, family head, the city lord requests your presence. The guards bowed to them. The city lord is looking for us? Did he say anything? Sikong asked. No, but he specifically instructed us to bring Miss Sichin over. Sichin. Wasn't that the name Sima Yue casually said? Everyone frowned. Wei Mingdai actually asked them to bring Sima Yue over at this time. Did she discover something? Chapter 1362. After a moment of silence, Sikong waved his hand and said, Got it. You guys can leave. Yes, Patriarch. Sima Yue then realized that this place belonged to the Si family. Otherwise, the 2 guards would not have been able to find this place. Father, why did that old witch call us over? He even wanted his little sister to tag along. Did she notice something wrong with me air in the forbidden grounds? Siyu asked worriedly. I don't think so. If that's the case, I'm afraid they wouldn't just send someone to invite you, but directly send someone to capture you. Sikong said. Is it just to thank her? Hard to say. Since little sister is leaving, why don't we not go? That won't do. If she didn't go, it would definitely arouse the city lord's suspicion. She is a very suspicious person. Once she starts to have thoughts about Yue, it will be hard for Yue to leave. Wu Man said. If that's the case, let's go and meet the city lord. Sima Yue said. If she suspects us, it will be difficult to save father. But what if she does something bad to you? Siyu said worriedly. I don't think so. If you really want to do something to me, I have a way to leave, Sima Yue said confidently. If that's the case, then come with us, Sikong said. Send them back first. Sima Yue didn't want Musi and the rest to go with her, but what if something happened and she left? Therefore, she had to go back and send them to the little realm. I'll go with you. Wu Lingyu knew what she was thinking and held her hand. Although Wei Mingdai was only 1,000 years old, she had already stepped into the monarch realm for many years. If he hadn't been tied down by Sima Luxian's affairs for the past 50 years, his strength might have been even higher. Who asked her to have a cheat like Mier? Even though he had never met Wei Mingdai, he knew how dangerous that woman was. The difference in strength was too great. If something really happened, it would be impossible for her to get him to come out again, even if she wanted to. Therefore, he had to accompany her. Okay. Sima Yue trusted Wu Lingyu more. If anything happened, she would still have to rely on him. Hence, she sent Musi, Third Emo and Diwu back to the courtyard. When there was no one around, she opened her little realm and let them out, leaving only Wu Lingyu with her. The 2 of them went to find Sikong and Wu Man. Sikong and Wu Man were already prepared. After that, Wu Man and Sikong got in a car, while Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu got in the car behind. The 2 cars drove towards the mansion of the mayor. In the carriage, Sima Yue leaned on Wu Lingyu's shoulder and held his hand. Ling Yu, if we fall out with that old witch, can you let us escape unscathed? Weren't you very confident just now? Why are you still asking this question now? Wu Lingyu teased. Isn't it because I believe in your strength? I know that if you don't make a move, once you make a move, it will definitely be earth-shattering. Sima Yue said. But can you still make a move with your body's condition? Don't worry. I will definitely protect you. Wu Lingyu kissed her forehead. Is that guy following you? Sima Yue asked. That guy ate that old guy from the Sage Pavilion in one bite. His strength was definitely not low. If he was around, Wu Lingyu wouldn't have to make a move. Anyway, they weren't outside, so it was fine for him to do whatever he wanted. You should believe in my strength. Wu Lingyu used his other hand to flick her forehead where he kissed just now. Sima Yue glared at him. She was just worried about him. But since he said that, it meant that there was no problem. The beast carriage brought them quickly to the city lord's residence. The city lord's residence was in the middle of Ghost City, and took up a huge piece of land. What made Sima Yue puzzled was that this place was so far from the forbidden grounds. How did Wei Ming Dai make use of me air to cultivate? Every time it came and went, wasn't it very troublesome? Master, this place looks very far from the forbidden grounds, but it is actually connected by a tunnel. Those city lords only need to go through the tunnel and enter a secret room. That secret room will absorb my strength for them to cultivate. Mi-air explained. Sima Yue noticed that it was talking about them. That was why the city lords changed again and again. After thousands of years, it was exploited by them day after day. No wonder it wanted to be free so much. She suddenly felt sorry for it. Mi-air, after we get out, if you want to go anywhere else, I won't restrict your freedom. She thought that Mi-air would happily agree, but she didn't expect that this guy's first reaction was, You don't want me anymore? What? This time it was Sima Yue's turn to be stunned. Your other contracted beasts didn't leave, but you want me to leave. Doesn't this mean that you don't want me anymore? Mi-air felt wronged. Did she despise it? What nonsense are you thinking? Sima Yue didn't know whether to laugh or cry at its wronged look. It's not that I don't want you. I'm saying that you can go out and travel. You don't have to stay by my side. I have things to do. If you stay by my side, you will be restricted. Haven't you always wanted to go out and explore? So it's not that you don't want me anymore. Mi-air heaved a sigh of relief. After your matters are settled, I will consider whether to leave or not. When Sima Yue heard its words, her lips curled up slightly. This guy wasn't that bad. In the past, it was just too eager for freedom. On the other hand, Mi-air was thinking about how it had been listening to the stories of her past from the other contract beasts, which made it interested in her life. In their last words, it was better for it to follow you than to go out. It would definitely make its life more exciting. It had never seen the outside world. After hearing what they said, it also felt that it wasn't bad to follow her. It would follow her for a period of time. If things didn't turn out well, it wouldn't be too late to leave. Sima Yue was busy with the mine and didn't pay attention to the conversation between the beasts, so she didn't know that they had successfully brainwashed Mi-air. That was why she was surprised at its wronged look. The beast carriage was very fast. Not long after, they appeared in front of the main gate of the mayor's residence. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu alighted from the beast carriage and realized that it wasn't just their beast carriage. There were a few other carriages passing by. It seemed that Wei Ming Dai didn't just ask them to come over. Wu Man and Si Kong alighted too. The coachman chased the beast carriage away and went to the parking lot. Umph! A cold snort mixed with pressure came towards Sima Yue. Wu Lingyu wanted to retaliate, but Wu Man waved the red fan in her hand, dispelling the pressure. She casually fanned herself and looked at Zhang Hao, who had just alighted from the beast carriage, saying faintly, Zhang Hao, why? Do you want to kill someone at the main gate of the mayor's residence? Chapter 1363. Faced with Wu Man's question, Zhang Hao snorted coldly and didn't say anything before directly entering the city lord's estate. Wu Lingyu's entire body was emitting cold air. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Zhang Hao's back. Earlier, if it wasn't for Wu Man dispelling the pressure before him, When he made a move, Zhang Hao would at least lose a layer of skin. Don't be impulsive, we still need him later. Wu Man said. Sima Yue grabbed Wu Lingyu's hand and said, I'm fine. Let's not spoil Ant-Man's plan. Zhang Hao felt a killing intent that was almost tangible. He turned around to take a look, but he didn't see who it was. Okay, I won't ruin your plan. Wu Lingyu retracted his killing intent before Zhang Hao turned around. Zhang Hao only felt the murderous intent, but did not see the person. He thought that it was Sima Yue or Wu Man who wanted to kill him. After sneering at them, he turned around and entered the mansion. This Zhang Hao is getting more and more arrogant. Wu Man's face darkened as she said, It seems that even without you, the conflict between us is about to erupt. Let's go in. As soon as they entered, a maidservant came to greet them. Greetings to Steward Zhang and Master Si. The maidservant bowed towards them and said with a smile, This must be Miss Si Qin? Sima Yue nodded at her in response. Lian Xiang, has the city lord recovered? Wu Man asked. Yes, the city lord came out of seclusion early this morning. His body has already completely recovered, Lian Xiang replied. You just came out of seclusion this morning. Why did you let us come over so quickly? The city lord said that you have worked hard in the forbidden area this time, so he specially set up a banquet to welcome you. Please follow me. After Lian Xiang finished speaking, she led the way in front. Wu Man and Si Kong were stunned. A banquet? Why would the city lord suddenly hold a banquet? Moreover, the timing was so tight. He had just come out of seclusion in the morning, and he had to hold a banquet in the evening. This had never happened before. Previously, they thought that Wei Mingdai had discovered something, which was why she brought Sima Yue over. From the looks of it now, if he just wanted to hold a banquet to thank everyone, he would definitely have to invite her. After all, she was the one who had solved this problem. This also explained why Zhang Hao and the others were invited as well. Lian Xiang did not take them to the banquet hall. Instead, she turned to another courtyard of the city lord's mansion. Steward, Master Si, Miss Si Qin, Master is waiting for you inside. Aren't we going straight to the banquet hall? Master said that before the banquet begins, he would like to have a chat with you. Please. Sima Yue and the rest came to the living room. Before they could sit down, Wei Mingdai came in from outside. Greetings, City Lord. Everyone bowed together. There's no need for that. We're all familiar with each other. Sit anywhere you want. Wei Mingdai waved her hand and sat down on the main seat. She then looked at Sima Yue and said, Because of the urgent situation that day, I haven't thanked you properly. Your name is Si Qin, right? Yes, City Lord. Sima Yue replied. I really have to thank you for this matter. If it wasn't for you, I'm afraid Ghost City wouldn't exist anymore. Wei Mingdai said gratefully. This is what Si Qin should do. I think if it was anyone else, as long as they could do it, they would definitely come. Sima Yue did not take the credit for herself. I didn't expect you to have such a mentality at such a young age. Not bad. Wei Mingdai praised. City Lord is too kind. Sima Yue saw that she did not mention me and heaved a sigh of relief. However, her expression did not change much. Wei Mingdai clapped her hands. Lian Xiang brought a plate over. On it was a black sandalwood and 3 rings. This is a section from a 10,000-year-old black sandalwood tree. Keep it by your side when you cultivate. It can help you focus and calm your qi. It can help with your cultivation and reduce the possibility of going crazy. For children like you, it's quite useful. Wei Mingdai explained. Now, I'm giving it to you as a thank you gift for saving Ghost City. Thank you, City Lord. Sima Yue did not feel much about this item, because it was useless to her. However, when she thought of Musi, she felt that it would be useful to him. The other 3 rings are the thank you gifts that I asked them to prepare. Wei Mingdai said. Was it prepared by Steward Zhang and the rest? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Since you're from Wu Man's side, the other 3 naturally have to give you a thank you gift. Hee, then I'll have to thank City Lord and all the stewards. Sima Yue picked up the space ring and casually checked it. She smiled happily. It was filled with things. It seemed like the other 3 had put in a lot of effort. Speaking of which, I've also prepared a thank you gift. Wu Man took out a space ring and passed it to Sima Yuyue. Then she smiled and explained to Wei Mingdai, Xiqin isn't considered to be from the north of the city. I can't take advantage of her and save my thank you gift. Oh, didn't you say that she's the daughter of the Xi family? Pfft, that was Xiyu's doing. Wu Man smiled. You know that girl. The Xi family spoils her to the heavens. She met Xiqin when she was playing outside and brought her back. She didn't expect that she would encounter the forbidden area the moment she came back. Because she was angered by Zhang Hao. She said that she was Xikong's adopted daughter. That's why we're not that familiar with her. Naturally, I can't leave out this thank you gift. I see. Then where is Xiqin from and how did she meet Xiyu? In reply to City Lord, I'm actually not from Ghost City. When Xiyu went outside to play, she was attracted by the things I made. That's how the two of them got to know each other. After that, I invited her to Ghost City. I didn't expect to encounter such things. After staying here for a few days, I plan to go back in 2 days. Sima Yue said. You're going back? Not sure if it was an illusion, but when Wei Mingdai said this, her tone seemed a little off. Yes. My father is strict and doesn't allow me to run outside to play. This time I came in with Xiyu behind my family's back. If my father finds out that I sneaked out to play, I'll definitely be in trouble. Sima Yue said with some distress. Before I came, Xiqin told me that she was preparing to go back. She said that she would be punished by her father. I originally wanted her to stay here for a while, but now that she said that, I can't say anything. Wu Man fanned her bloody fan. The smile in her eyes was as if she really couldn't do anything to Yue. Ant-Man, you're making fun of me. Sima Yue looked angrily at Wu Man, as if she was acting coquettishly. Wu Lingyu, who was at the side, played with the thumb ring on his hand as his eyes flashed. This girl had never acted coquettishly towards him before. Ever since they met, she always had a mature and experienced look. Acting coquettishly like this had a different flavor to it. If she acted coquettishly towards him like this, thinking of this, his lips curled up. He was in a good mood and decided to go back and try it out. Reading background default settings: classic light blue, classic light gray, classic green, classic bright yellow, dark blue, ocean, autumn, abundant green, simple, elegant, red, powder, aristocratic, family, red, talk, dense, sea, vast, sky, broken heart, past, snow, white, world, gray, world, font color default settings: white, red, green, blue, brown, font size default settings: small, medium, large, speed 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 0, mouse scrolling explanation. 1 to 10, 1 is the slowest, 10 is the fastest. Chapter 1364. Wei Mingdai looked at the interaction between Sima Yue and Wu Man. Her gaze changed as she asked, since you're in Ghost City, then play more. If you're afraid that your father will punish you, I'll send someone to talk to him. I think I still have some face. When Sima Yue heard what she said, she looked like she was flattered, and then she became distressed. What? You can't do that? Could it be that your father won't even give me face? Wei Mingdai asked solemnly. If the city lord can talk to my father, it will definitely be possible. However, it will be my mother's birthday soon. I have to rush back. Sima Yue said hesitantly. She looked at Wei Mingdai carefully. Seeing that she was angry, she quickly smiled and said, but there's still some time before my mother's birthday. I can play for a few more days before going back. When the time comes, I'll have to trouble the city lord to intercede for me. Seeing that Sima Yue had relented, Wei Mingdai smiled again and said, leave this matter to your Ant-Man. You definitely won't be punished. Thank you, Castellan. Thank you, Ant-Man. Sima Yue bowed to the two of them before returning to her seat. Wu Man, Xiqin has done a great favor for our Ghost City. You have to deal with this matter properly. You can't let her be punished just because we let her stay here. Wei Mingdai warned. I will. City Lord, don't worry about that. How can I not handle such a small matter? Wu Man said with a smile. That's good. Wei Mingdai was very confident in Wu Man's ability. She then turned to Sima Yue and said, oh right, I heard that the thing in the forbidden area was chased back by your contracted beast. Can you show me what kind of powerful spiritual beast it is? Sima Yue did not expect her to want to see Little Black. Thinking that no one in this world would be able to recognize Little Black, she called it out. Woof woof woof. The moment Little Black came out, it called out to Sima Yue before calling out to Wei Mingdai. This is a dog? Wei Mingdai was very surprised to see Little Black. That day, Little Black did not make a sound. She chased everyone away not long after arriving at the Forbidden Grounds. So she did not pay much attention to Little Black. Later on, when he heard his subordinates talk about it, he only felt that it was very powerful. It was actually able to make the power that had already rushed out obediently go back. He didn't even think about what it was like. Therefore, when he suddenly heard the two dog barks, he was really surprised. Little Black is not a dog. It just looks like a dog, but it's much more powerful than a dog, Sima Yue said seriously. Oh, if it's not a dog, what is it? I don't know either. When I met it, it was already like this. It had been by my side for more than 10 years, but it had never changed. But Little Black is definitely not a dog. The more she described Little Black as extraordinary, the more she could dispel other people's doubts about it. Yes, I also believe that it's not a dog. Wei Mingdai smiled and said, a normal dog wouldn't be able to make that thing in the Forbidden Grounds behave. City Lord also thinks that it's very powerful, right? I knew that City Lord would definitely have a different opinion. Sima Yue looked at her happily. Although Little Black looks like it doesn't have any spiritual energy and eats a lot usually, I have never despised it. I knew that it would be very powerful one day. She tried her best to make herself look more innocent and cute. She wanted Wei Mingdai to think that she was just an ordinary girl and would not really notice her. But a trace of vigilance rose in her heart. Wei Mingdai gave her a gift of thanks and asked about Little Black. Could it be that she was interested in her? If that was the case, how was she going to save her father? Little Black doesn't have any spiritual energy? Wei Mingdai's expression changed for a moment, but she immediately regained her smile. It's so powerful without any spiritual energy. It must be some powerful spiritual beast that was born in the world. If it recovers its spiritual energy, it would be very powerful. Can Little Black recover its spiritual energy? But it has been like this for so long. Sima Yue pretended to be confused. It should be. That's great. Sima Yue clapped her hands and bent over to carry Little Black, making it face her. Little Black, did you hear that? City Lord said that you might recover your strength. I knew that you were not a useless person. How is it, are you happy? Woof woof woof. Little Black barked twice. The others did not know if it was happy, or if it did not understand her words. Actually, it's very simple to see if Little Black is a useless person. We don't have to wait for it to recover its strength. Wei Mingdai said. Really? Sima Yue looked at her in disbelief. Then, her eyes flashed with joy as she asked urgently, really? We don't have to wait for it to recover its strength to prove it. Yes. That's great. Sima Yue said happily. After I contracted Little Black, I was scolded by my father for a long time. He said that I contracted a useless person. If I can prove that Little Black is not a useless person, my father, mother and family members will not scold me anymore. City Lord, what is the method? Isn't it very powerful against that thing in the Forbidden Grounds? It has already been sealed by me, so I can't use it to prove it. But as long as you find something similar to it and record the scene of it dealing with that thing, you can bring it back and show it to others. Won't you be able to prove it? Wei Mingdai tempted. There are other similar things in other places? Sima Yue was interested. Where is it? In a very secretive place. Wei Mingdai said. If you want to go, only I can bring you there. City Lord. Wu Man shouted out in disapproval, attracting Wei Mingdai's dissatisfied gaze. Why, you have a problem with this? Wei Mingdai's voice became lower. She was a little angry. City Lord, are you thinking of letting Little Black go there? How can you let an outsider enter that place? Wu Man frowned. She had already guessed what Wei Mingdai wanted to do. Why? Do I need your approval to make a decision? Wei Mingdai asked coldly. Your subordinate doesn't dare. Wu Man lowered her head. She was thinking of how to help Sima Yue reject it. But Wei Mingdai's words were absolute in the city. If she went overboard, she would definitely arouse her suspicions. But if Sima Yue went with her, then everything would be messed up. Sima Yue's eyes flashed. She had also guessed Wei Mingdai's intention. She wanted her to use Little Black to force Mu Shan's power away. Without the power's protection, her father would be captured by her again. So this was the old witch's plan. After thinking for a while, she smiled at Wei Mingdai. City Lord, what is that place? When can we go there? I must let them see if Little Black is a useless person. Chapter 1365. Sima Yue's reaction shocked everyone. Did she know what would happen if she agreed to Wei Mingdai's request? City Lord, no one has ever been to that place, not to mention she's just an outsider. Wu Man disagreed. I've already decided. You don't have to say any more. Wei Mingdai's attitude was firm. When are we going? Sima Yue asked. How about we go after the banquet? After the banquet? Sima Yue was in a dilemma. Can we go 2 days later? I need to talk to Siyu. Although Wei Mingdai was anxious, she couldn't say it out loud. She nodded and said, Then let's wait for 2 days. After 2 days, I will send someone to borrow it for you. Since the city lord has decided, I will go with you. When the time comes, bring her there directly. Wu Man said. No need. I'll take her there. You still need to take care of the matters in the city. Wei Mingdai rejected. Ant-Man, there are so many things to do in the city every day. You don't have to go. Anyway, we'll be back after we record the scene of Xiaohei forcing that thing to retreat. Sima Yue said. Then all right. Wu Man nodded. City Lord, when the time comes, should I come here directly to look for you? Sima Yue asked. I wonder if I can make it to the city lord's residence alive after leaving the Xi family. Wei Mingdai heard from the servant girl about what happened that day and knew about the conflict between her and the Zhang clan. She immediately understood what she meant and smiled. Don't worry, no one will dare to touch you. Thank you, City Lord. Sima Yue stood up and bowed towards Wei Mingdai as she said cheerfully. Hee, what a sensible child. Wei Mingdai praised. Sima Yue felt a chill down her spine. She looked so kind and amiable now. If she didn't know that she was forcing her father to marry her, if she didn't know that she wanted her to force her father out, you might really think that she was a good person. They chatted for a while more before Lian Xiang entered. She bowed to everyone and said, Master, the banquet is about to begin. It's almost time. Lian Xiang, bring them to the banquet hall first. I'll change my clothes and come over. Wei Mingdai ordered. Everyone in the living room stood up and bowed towards Wei Mingdai before leaving with Lian Xiang. Wei Mingdai didn't move from her seat. At this moment, another servant girl walked up from behind and prepared to help her change her clothes. Shiyu, what do you think about that Sima Yue? Wei Mingdai asked. I think she's just like any other young lady, Shiyu replied. Really? But why do I feel like she's a little different? But if you look closely, it's the same. Wei Mingdai said doubtfully. It doesn't matter whether she is the same or not. As long as she can help Master, it's good. That's right. Let's see how he is Yue. Mingdai loved you, she was use. You to Yue no. And you Ming you. But she knew that she had to force him out. If they couldn't be together, then she would destroy him and let him live in her heart forever. Let's go. Change your clothes. On the other side, Lian Xiang brought everyone to the banquet hall. After leaving the courtyard, Wu Man said to Lian Xiang, All right, Lian Xiang, we know how to get to the banquet hall. You can go and do other things. This kind of situation had happened before, so Lian Xiang didn't think of anything else and listened to her and left. After Lian Xiang left, Wu Man casually set up a sound barrier. She looked at Sima Yue with a solemn face and said, Do you know what you just agreed to? Do you know the consequences of going with her? I know, Sima Yue said, but at that time, other than cooperating with her, do I have any other choice? You shouldn't have agreed to it so hastily. Wu Man was really angry. If you lose your life because of this, How can I face your father in the future? Ant-Man, don't worry. I'll be fine, Sima Yue said. No matter what reason she had to protect her, at least she was still grateful. If you go with her, even if you meet your father and acknowledge him, how are you going to escape from her hands? Wu Man's anger didn't lessen because of her words. I have Ling Yu. Sima Yue held onto Wu Lingyu's hand. He's very powerful. With him around, I don't have to worry about Wei Ming Dai. I can even take revenge for my father. This was a decision she made on the way here. Since Wu Lingyu said that there was no problem, then there naturally wouldn't be a problem. Wei Ming Dai frowned. She didn't believe him. Wu Lingyu looked like he was only 200 to 300 years old. How powerful could he be? Why don't I tell the city lord to go with you guys later? She said. I can help you guys delay it. Ant-Man, if you go, how are you going to stay in the city in the future? I'm afraid Wei Ming Dai will be the first to not let you off. Sima Yue said. Don't worry. I came to save my father, not to die. Man Yue is right. She must be confident since she agreed to the city lord's request. You don't have to worry. Si Kong persuaded. Wu Man saw that even Si Kong was speaking up for her, and understood the logic. What nonsense! Ant-Man, don't be angry. Let's go to the banquet. If we delay for too long, it will attract other people's attention. Sima Yue said with a smile. Let's go. Wu Man removed the enchantment and brought them to the banquet hall. As expected, when they arrived, Zhang Hao, Meng Sha and Luo Qi were already there. Behind them were the elders of their respective clans. Why are you guys so slow? Meng Sha didn't wait for them to sit down and asked. We went to the city lord's courtyard first, and talked for a while before coming over. Wu Man said. Why did you go to the city lord's courtyard? Zhang Hao said in a weird tone. Don't tell me you guys went to complain? You think that because you are narrow-minded, others will be the same as you? Wu Man rolled her eyes at him. The city lord just wants to see Si Qin to thank her for the forbidden area. He also gave her your gift of thanks. Let's see how long you guys can be proud for. Zhang Hao snorted. Wu Man smiled meaningfully and didn't say anything else. After a while, Wei Ming Dai brought Lian Xiang and Xi Yuan. Everyone stood up to welcome them. No need for formalities. Wei Ming Dai came to the main seat and sat down. When she saw Sima Yue, she waved at her and said, Child, come here and sit beside me. Lian Xiang and Xi Yu got people to arrange a seat beside the main seat. This action caused everyone's expression to change. Chapter 1366. Sima Yue saw everyone's reaction. She was just adding a seat below. Why did these people have such a big reaction? City Lord, that position is prepared for the young City Lord. I don't think it's appropriate to let a little kid sit there. Zhang Hao was the first to ask. Isn't there no young City Lord now? Si Qin saved the lives of everyone in the city. What's wrong with sitting here? Wei Ming Dai said, Child, come. Sima Yue finally understood that those people thought that Wei Ming Dai wanted her to be the young city lord. Seeing Zhang Hao's ugly expression, she smiled and said to Wei Ming Dai, Thank you, city lord. Then Si Qin will gladly accept. Finished speaking, she came to the short table that Lian Xiang had prepared for her and sat down. Then, she proudly lifted her chin toward Zhang Hao. Si Qin isn't from Ghost City. She was brought in by CU and will leave in a few days. Letting her sit here is just to express our gratitude. At the same time, we want you to remember that she is your savior. Wei Ming Dai casually explained that she wouldn't make her the young city lord. Only then did everyone relax. The city lord usually chose the junior city lord from the entire Ghost City, so anyone present, or even anyone in the city, could become the junior city lord. If someone suddenly appeared and claimed to be the young city lord, wouldn't that be hindering the interests of all the forces? Now that they heard Wei Ming Dai's words, everyone found her pleasing to the eye again. When something happened in the forbidden area, I didn't make it back in time. Thank you for your hard work. Now let me toast everyone. Wei Ming Dai raised her cup, and the others followed suit. Everyone drank a cup together. This wine wasn't tasty, so Sima Yue only took a sip and didn't touch it. She spent most of her time chatting with Wei Mingdai. When the people below saw her chatting so happily with Wei Mingdai, they started to have their own plans. Even Zhang Hao had changed his mind. He had originally planned to kidnap them, torture them, and then kill them. Even if Si Kong and the others came to ask for him, it would only cause a conflict between the north and the south. But now, she had caught Wei Mingdai's eye, and Wei Mingdai had openly expressed her interest in her. If something were to happen to her now, he would definitely be punished by Wei Mingdai. In any case, the city lord would return to Sunset Mountain in a few days. It wouldn't be too late to act then. Moreover, he had other more important things to do. Those families had problems with their mines. If they couldn't solve it, the banquet didn't last long because everyone had to go back to deal with the mine. Wei Mingdai also knew about this. Hence, she only had a small gathering to let everyone express their gratitude to Sima Yue before letting them go back. Anyway, the purpose of this banquet was not to get together, but to invite Sima Yue over and to tell these people not to touch her. Now that he had achieved his goal, it was time to let them return. Si Qin, we will leave in 2 days. Wei Mingdai told Sima Yue before she left. Returning to the Si family, Si Yu rushed over as soon as she heard the news. Little sister, father said you agreed to go with that old witch? Yeah. How could you agree? She definitely wants you to go because she wants you to force Sunset Mountain's power back so that she can catch your father. When that time comes, you will save your father, but how will you escape from under her nose? Si Yu said anxiously. Also, if she finds out that you are your father's daughter, she will definitely kill you. We don't know who will kill who yet. Sima Yue was not worried at all. Pfft. You're so confident. Si Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry at her nonchalant look. Do you know what rank that old witch is? I think she should be at the High Paragon rank. She's about to enter the Emperor rank? Sima Yue asked. I don't know if she's close to the Emperor rank, but there was once a middle-stage Emperor rank who provoked her, and was instantly killed by her. Si Yu said. So you can imagine how strong she is. That's pretty strong. But there's always someone stronger. Sima Yue said. Also, at that time, she wanted me to go. If I rejected her, I'm afraid she would be angry and things would be even more difficult. Also, I've already agreed, so there's no point in saying this now. Alright, I'm going to go into closed-door cultivation for 2 days to prepare some things. Si Yu thought about it and agreed. Saying this now wouldn't change anything. Alright then, we'll talk about it when you come out. You go ahead with your work, I'm going back. Sima Yue smiled as she sent her off. Then, she got Wu Lingyu to set up an enchantment, so that the outside wouldn't be able to sense this place. She then brought him into the spirit pagoda. You want to refine pills? Wu Lingyu knew what she was going to do the moment he saw her enter the pill refining room. Sima Yue took out all the healing pill recipes and said, but I'm not the one refining the pills. I can't refine these recipes yet, so I need your help. Wu Lingyu flipped through the recipes and said, they're all healing pills and their grades are higher. Father's injuries are so serious, I don't know what will happen when the time comes. Sima Yue said, so I think it's better to prepare more healing pills. What if one of them comes in handy? But there are a lot of pills here that I can't refine. Anything below 10th grade is fine. Wu Lingyu said. Then refine those below 10th grade. Sima Yue didn't force him. In the later stages of refining pills, one would need to infuse spirit energy to condense the pills. Chapter 1367. Before Wu Man finished speaking, Wei Mingdai appeared in the sky above the Si family. It seemed like she couldn't wait any longer. Her appearance also made Wu Man swallow the rest of her words. Greetings, City Lord. Everyone bowed to her. No need. Wei Mingdai waved her hand and looked at Sima Yue. Are you ready? All right. Sima Yue said. City Lord, let's go. Little sister. Si Yu called out worriedly. Wait for me to come back and show you how domineering Xiao He is. Sima Yue waved at Si Yu and flew to Wei Mingdai's side with Wu Lingyu. Wei Mingdai opened a spatial tunnel and brought the two of them in. When they came out, they were already in a vast mountain range. Castellan, where are we? Sima Yue asked even though she already knew the answer. This is Sunset Mountain. There is a very powerful influence here. When the time comes, you just have to chase the power back. I will help you record it with the Shadow Stone. Wei Mingdai said. Really? Thank you, City Lord. Oh right, I have a favor to ask. A friend of mine is trapped here. If you see her, please bring her out. Wei Mingdai said. Since she is the mayor's friend, I will definitely bring her out if I meet her. Sima Yue said. All right. Go ahead then. Sima Yue called out Little Black and hugged him in her arms. Then she followed Wei Mingdai's instructions and walked towards the place. Wu Lingyu followed her closely. They were now at the edge of a thick fog. Wei Mingdai had been stuck here for dozens of years. Even if she could occasionally get close, she would be blocked back after a short while. But she couldn't attack it. Once she attacked it, it would counterattack and cause a commotion in Ghost City. All these years, she clearly knew that he was inside, but she couldn't get close. This really made her angry. At this moment, she was standing not far away. When she saw Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu easily enter, she subconsciously clenched her fists. Sure enough, this little girl could enter. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu walked in, and the black fog behind them surged back, blocking Wei Mingdai who was about to follow them. Si Qin, what's going on? Wei Mingdai called out to the people inside. Sima Yue didn't even turn her head as Wei Mingdai wouldn't be able to see her. City Lord, this place is a little different from the forbidden area. He seemed to be even more powerful than the one in the forbidden area. I don't know if I can deal with him. For safety's sake, City Lord, you should wait outside. Are you all right? Wei Mingdai didn't think that Sima Yue was lying to her. It's all right. Sima Yue looked around. She was surrounded by thick fog and could not tell the directions, let alone find someone. City Lord, didn't you say that your friend was trapped inside? Why don't you tell me the direction and I'll go and save her for you? Wei Mingdai was still worried that Sima Yue would shrink back because of this difference and give up on saving her. She had already thought about it. If Sima Yue were to shrink back, she wouldn't mind using force. Now that she took the initiative to ask, she avoided a conflict. I can sense your location and I'll guide you there. Okay. At the beginning, the fog wasn't so wide and Sima Luxian had chased it over bit by bit. So Wei Mingdai didn't know Sima Luxian's exact location, but she could estimate it. It had been 50 years. He had isolated himself from her for 50 years, and also imprisoned her for 50 years. Why would he rather imprison her than follow her? Was that woman that good? Sima Yue didn't know the change in emotions of the woman outside, and just followed the direction she said. With Little Black around, she could move around freely. After walking for a few hundred kilometers, the black fog slowly lessened and the visibility increased. She told Wei Mingdai about this situation, and Wei Mingdai told her that she was close to the center, and the trapped person was nearby. She had to find the exact location herself. I know where it is. Wu Lingyu held her hand and led her forward. Her father was not far ahead. Thinking of this, she was extremely nervous and her palms were sweating. Don't be nervous. Your father will be very proud to see such an outstanding you. Wu Lingyu comforted. I never thought that I would meet my father under such circumstances. Sima Yue said. I never thought that I would meet father-in-law in this kind of situation. I wonder if he will be satisfied with me? Wu Lingyu said in a serious tone. PFFF. Sima Yue was amused by his expression and her nervous mood slowly relaxed. We're here. Wu Lingyu led her out of the thick fog, and came to a clear world. In this world, a man with snow-white hair sat in the circle formed by the force with his eyes closed. Even after 50 years, his white clothes were still spotless. Sima Yue's eyes moistened when she saw his white hair. How much life did he consume over the years to turn his black hair white? Father, she muttered in a low voice, but Sima Luxian couldn't hear her, but he opened his eyes as if he sensed something. His gaze was a little empty. The injury in his body made him a little delirious, but he still felt that someone he missed was here. Father! Sima Yue finally couldn't control herself and shouted. Why was his gaze so empty? Why was it so difficult for him to even open his eyes? She wanted to rush over but was stopped by Wu Lingyu. Don't be rash. These flying forces don't have intelligence. They won't care about Xiaohei's power. If you go over now, you won't be able to save your father. You'll cause chaos and get killed by your father. Then what should we do? Look at father, he can't hold on anymore. Sima Yoyue's face was covered in tears unknowingly. Third MO, he should be able to channel the force out of here. Wu Lingyu reminded. Yes, find him, find him. Sima Yue took out a small door and opened the little realm. Third MO, Di Wu and the rest came out. Xian, Huang Yingying came out and saw Sima Lu Xian in the middle. She immediately became agitated and wanted to go forward but was stopped by Sima Xiao. Don't be rash. You might harm him if you go over before you know what it is. Lu Xian, how did he become like this? Sima Lu Feng and the rest were shocked when they saw him. They didn't expect him to become like this. Sima Yue calmed down and said to Huang Yingying and the rest, Grandpa, Grandma, don't worry. Father is trapped. We have to break this before we can get close to him. Chapter 1368. After Sima Yue finished speaking, she looked at Third Mo and asked, Do you have a way to solve this? Third Mo saw the power flying around Sima Lu Xian and sighed. Your father is really ruthless to himself. This is a killing move. When everyone heard what he said, their faces turned pale with fright. Kill? Are you saying that there's no other way? Huang Yingying cried. That's not what I meant. Third Mo saw that they had misunderstood and quickly explained. What I mean is that he set up a death array for himself. If anyone dares to attack the energy around him, he will die with them. Do you have any ideas? Sima Yue asked. There is a way, but we still need to do some calculations. Third Mo said. We just need to lure these forces away. I'll have to trouble you then. Sima Yue said. Come with me. I'll need you later, Third Mo requested. All right. Sima Yue knew that Third Mo might not be able to solve such a complicated situation by himself, so she started to calculate with him. It took the two of them a day to figure out the direction of the Shur. As long as they could figure this out, it would be much easier to lead the Shur away. Huang Yingying and the rest didn't take their eyes off Sima Lu Xian for the entire day. They only shifted their attention back when Sima Yue and Third Mo returned. How is it? We have a plan, but we need everyone's cooperation. Sima Yue said. What should we do? Me, Third Mo, Lingyu, Grandpa, Grandma, Uncle Lu Feng, Uncle Lu Yin and Xiaotong. We'll each take a position and divide the forces according to the order. Sima Yue said. Young Miss, Xiaotong isn't strong, let me replace him. Di Wu said. Xiaotong's position is weaker, so he only needs a little bit of spiritual energy. You have other things to do. Then what should I do? Di Wu also wanted to contribute. Di Wu, your matter is the most important. Sima Yue said. Do you see the aura of death surrounding father? Di Wu took a closer look. Sima Lu Xian was indeed surrounded by a faint death aura. Other than you and me, no one else can see here. I have to distract them, so I'll leave the death chi to you. Sima Yue said. My father's spiritual energy has been depleted over the years. He has been converting the death aura into energy that he can use to support this. That's why he's been seriously injured all these years. No wonder his life card has always been like this. The death energy gave him strength, but since it's not compatible, his body was injured. Sima Lu Yin said. That's right. Sima Yue nodded her head. This formation actually consumes very little energy. That's why he was able to sustain it with spirit power and elixirs a few years ago. But later on, even though there was very little death chi, it still hurt his body. My child. Thinking of Sima Lu Xian's suffering, Huang Yingying couldn't help but cry. Di Wu, what you have to do later is to absorb all the death aura around my father the moment we distract them. Sima Yue said. The death aura will backfire at that moment. To my father, it's fatal. You might be injured, but it won't be fatal. All right. I will definitely. Di Wu said. All right. Then I'll tell you our sequence and what we have to do. There are a total of 8 positions. The 8 of us. Following her explanation, everyone knew what to do and went to their respective positions. Everyone, we don't have the chance to practice. This is the only chance. Sima Yue glanced at everyone, especially Xiao Tong. Xiao Tong's strength was very low. Although his part was the easiest, she was still worried. But other than strength, it also required tacit understanding. The people in Blood Fiend City might be stronger than Xiao Tong, but they might not be better than Xiao Tong because they didn't have much contact with other people. She took a deep breath and relaxed herself, saying, "Let's begin." Third Mo started to condense his spirit power. Once the spirit power came into contact with the force, it immediately merged with it and tried to divert it away from its original direction. But it was counterattacked. Ugh! Blood trickled out from the corner of Third Mo's mouth. He couldn't be bothered to wipe it off as he increased his strength and got into a stalemate with the force. Sima Yue looked on worriedly. She knew that the first step was the hardest. If it wasn't for Third Mo's understanding of the force, most people wouldn't even dare to try it. "Ha!" Third Mo shouted. The force was finally shaken by him and diverted from its original position. Every force came out from this side and injected into the ground from the opposite side. 8 directions, 8 semicircles. They attracted each other, but didn't interfere with each other. When the first force deviated, Sima Yue immediately diverted the force that she was in charge of to the side. Then the third force, the fourth force. Di Wu. Sima Yue called out to Di Wu. Di Wu immediately went through the gap and came to Sima Lu Xian's side. He sat cross-legged and absorbed all the surrounding death aura into his body like how he usually did when he was cultivating. But because the death aura was mixed with the power of the force, his meridians were in pain when he absorbed it into his body. But he didn't relax and continued to absorb it. Even if he couldn't convert it into power in his body, he had to absorb all of it. He couldn't let it hurt young Mrs. Father again. He could recover if he was injured, but if he was hit again, he might really lose his life. Therefore, victory or defeat this time could be said to be on his shoulders. Thinking of this, he sucked even harder. He had to absorb all of it. Sima Yue was grateful to Di Wu for absorbing the death aura like he didn't care about his life. Although he looked a little silly usually, he was still very reliable during crucial moments. She decided that she wouldn't bully him verbally in the future. When the 8 forces deviated from their original positions, Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu teleported at the same time and came to Sima Lu Xian and Di Wu's side. They carried one each and brought them away from their original position. The others also retreated. Sima Lu Yan came to Little Helper's side and brought him to the back. In the end, only Third Mo was left. The retreat of the forces was only temporary. The counterattack would be stronger than before. So Third Mo had to sort them out. "Mi'er, go and help him." Sima Yue called Mi'er out. Mi'er had been observing the situation outside. He was the best at dealing with these things. He came to Third Mo's side and threw him to Sima Lu Feng. Then he dealt with the restless forces alone. "Mi'er, just guide them back. Don't attack them." Sima Yue suddenly thought that Ghost City would be affected and reminded him. But she was still a step too late. Mi'er had already launched his first attack. The ground of Sunset Mountain started to shake. The same thing happened at Ghost City. Some streets and houses were torn apart. Chapter 1369. This was the first time such a situation had occurred in Ghost City. Everyone panicked. Is Ghost City going to collapse? Wu Man and the other 3 arrived in the sky at the same time. When they saw Ghost City shaking, they all thought of the same thing. Something happened at Sunset Mountain. Let's go and take a look. Just as they were about to go over, the Ghost City stopped shaking. If it wasn't for the panicked crowd and the torn streets and houses, it was as if none of this had happened. "You guys stay here to appease the people. Let's go take a look," Meng Sha said to the people behind him. He then opened a spatial tunnel and went in. Then Zhang Hao and Luo Qi also went over. Si Kong and Siyu came to Wu Man's side. "Ant-Man, did something happen over there?" "Yes. Take a look at the situation here." "I'll go over there and take a look," Wu Man instructed. Zhang Hao and the others had already gone over. It seemed that she had no choice but to go. Moreover, she was also worried about what had happened over there. Did the rescue operation fail? Did he already? Ant-Man, I'll go with you. See, you requested. You stay here. Wu-Man rejected him without hesitation. Then, she opened a space tunnel and went to Sunset Mountain alone. The situation over there is too dangerous. You should stay here. How could Seekong not know what his daughter was thinking? However, it was better to nip things in the bud if they were not suitable for each other. But little sister, Siyu was extremely worried. Since she said she has a way, then she must have one. Seekong said with a cold face. If you go, you might mess up her plan and kill them all. If you're really worried about her, then take good care of her in the city. This was the first time Seekong had spoken to her so harshly. Siyu was stunned. Little sister, father is right. You don't know her plans. If you go, you might drag her down. It won't be easy for her to deal with the old witch and a few stewards. Cize advised. I know. Siyu lowered her head and obediently followed them back. Wu-Man and company soon arrived outside Sunset Mountain. The first thing they saw was Wei Mingdai, who was outside the fog. At this moment, Wei Mingdai's face was frighteningly dark. Those who were familiar with her knew that she was in a rage. City Lord, what happened? Luo Qi asked. How's the situation in the city? Wei Mingdai asked instead of answering. Some cracks have appeared and destroyed a part of the streets and houses. The number of casualties has yet to be ascertained. Meng Sha said. Everything was fine. Why would Ghost City have such a violent upheaval? Wei Mingdai turned to look at Wu Man. You already knew, didn't you? Know what? Wu Man looked at Wei Mingdai in astonishment. She really didn't know anything about Sima Yoyue's plan. Plus, she had concealed her thoughts very well, so she didn't seem to have any flaws. The other three were surprised to see her looking at Wu Man so suspiciously. However, they were tactful enough to not say anything. Wei Mingdai stared at her for a while before retracting her gaze, saying, That person didn't just come here to play. She's coming for Sima Luxian. They came for him? That person is here to save him. Everyone was shocked. After so many years, there was actually a little child who came to save him. This was too inconceivable. At this time, Mier had already forced all the forces back, and the thick fog that shrouded the outside had also dispersed. The 5 figures flashed and flew towards the depths of Sunset Mountain. At this time, in the depths of the mountain, Sima Luxian was already unconscious. He laid in his mother's arms and his face was as pale as paper. Sima Yuyu fed him quite a few pills, but he didn't even have the strength to swallow them in his mouth. If it wasn't for his strong willpower, he wouldn't have been able to hold on until now. Sima Yue saw that he was only holding it and not swallowing it, and her tears fell immediately. Father, swallow it. Father, I beg you, swallow it quickly. She cried and begged. Xianer, swallow the pills quickly. Look at mother, we are all here. Don't abandon us. Huang Yingying said. Look at Yue. Yue has already grown so big. You haven't seen her grow up. She looks so much like Luo. Yue, don't you have medical skills? Can't you stimulate him to swallow it? Third Mo asked. Yes. Sima Yue quickly took out her silver needles, pulled open his clothes and inserted a few needles into his chest. She was so worried that she was flustered. She was so frightened by him that she actually forgot about this. Sima Luxian only regained some energy after the silver needles were inserted. He opened his eyes and subconsciously swallowed the pills in his mouth. Sima Yuyu watched as he swallowed the pill, and heaved a sigh of relief. Father, how are you? Sima Luxian slowly regained his consciousness and his eyes slowly focused. Seeing that familiar face, he called out softly. Kuluo. Father, I'm not mother, I'm Yue. Yue child. Sima Yue fed him the other pills, which were refined by Wu Lingyu 2 days ago. The pills gradually took effect, but Sima Luxian's body was still very weak. Yu, let me do it. Little Seven said in the spirit pagoda. Sima Yue didn't know why Little Seven came out at this time, but she wasn't in the mood to ask and directly called Little Seven out. When Little Seven came out, they felt a strong breath of life. This is Sima Yue saw the golden branch in her hand and her eyes flashed with joy. Did Qingyi give it to you? Yes. Little Seven bit her finger and dripped 2 drops of blood, which merged with the essence in the paper. Let him drink this. Thank you. Sima Yue took the branch and fed the essence mixed with Little Seven's blood into Sima Luxian's mouth. Sima Luxian's life was almost exhausted, but once he ate Qingyi's essence, a strong life force exuded from his body, and he became much more energetic. He looked at Sima Yue and was interrupted by her before he could speak. Father, you should rest first. Sima Luxian felt that the majestic life force in his body was nourishing his dried-up internal organs. He knew that he was seriously injured, so he suppressed all his emotions and came out from Huang Yingying's arms. He sat cross-legged and started to rest. Huang Yingying and the rest saw that their son's condition was much better and asked, "What did you feed him just now? Is his injury really okay?" Father used too much of his life force. Qingyi and Little Seven's essence is only replenishing his life force. His injury, we have to wait for him to recover before we can confirm it. Sima Yue said. Their essence is so useful? Sima Lufeng asked. Yes, they are. Someone is coming. Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue looked up and saw Wei Mingdai flying over with Wu Man and the other 3. Wei Mingdai glared at them. The anger in her eyes seemed to burn Yue. Chapter 1370. Wei Mingdai stopped not too far away. She glanced at Sima Luxian who was on the ground and shifted her gaze back to Sima Yue. You're not called Siqin, she said with certainty. Everything she had sensed before was enough to prove that she had been played by this little girl. She thought about how she had trusted her and brought her here, but she had actually lied to her. You're right, my name is not Siqin. Sima Yue stood in front of Sima Luxian and said, I'm Sima Yue, Sima Luxian's daughter. Sima Yue. Sima Yue. You are Sima Yue. Wei Mingdai had naturally heard of Sima Yue's name, because it was one of the 2 names he mentioned the most. I really didn't expect you to be his daughter. It's laughable that I brought you here personally. It's a pity that I can't say thank you. Sima Yue looked at Wei Mingdai coldly. If she hadn't tried to force her father to stay, her father wouldn't have been forced to come here. He wouldn't have had to resort to such a self-harming method, and he wouldn't have ended up like this. That head of white hair stung her eyes, and that lifeless body stimulated the hatred in her heart. Originally, she had only planned to save him and leave. Now, she had to properly avenge her father. How could you be his child? You don't have his bloodline aura at all. Wu Men also looked like she had suffered a blow. Seeing her like this, Wei Mingdai believed that she didn't know about this. Of course you won't be able to sense my father's bloodline aura, Sima Yue said as she retracted her dark spiritual energy and released her light spiritual energy. My mother is a member of the Ghost Clan. What I had before was naturally my mother's bloodline aura. When she returned to her usual appearance, the bloodline aura was almost the same as Sima Luxian behind her. There was no need to say anything else. This was enough to prove her identity. Behind her, Sima Luxian's aura fluctuated a little, but it immediately returned to normal. Good. Very good. Wei Mingdai was so angry that she laughed. In this world, those who dare to lie to me will never live to see the next day. Originally, I was planning to wait for you to rescue him before I made you the young city lord. If you didn't like it, I would give you a generous gift. Now, I will let you slowly experience the consequences of deceiving me. After saying that, she directly attacked with a burst of spirit energy. That speed was so fast that Sima Lufeng and the others couldn't react in time. Sister Yue. Xiao Tong shouted. However, Sima Yue stood there without any reaction. Even her expression did not change. Qi. When Wei Mingdai's attack neared Sima Yue, Wu Lingyu moved. He merely waved his hand, and the attack was neutralized by him. How can this be? Who are you? Wei Mingdai knew the power of her attack. That Wu Lingyu looked like he was only 200 to 300 years old. How could he neutralize her attack? Wu Lingyu knew that Wei Mingdai was very powerful, so he no longer suppressed his own strength. Seeing his strength slowly increasing, everyone widened their eyes in shock. Damn, is this guy really the holy son of the Sage Pavilion? Sima Lufeng cried out in disbelief. It's obvious he's not. Sima Luyan couldn't remain calm. How could the holy son of the Sage Pavilion have such powerful strength? Devilchi. Sima Xiu frowned. The way he looked at Wu Lingyu and Sima Yue changed. No one knew what he was thinking. You're from the Devil Clan. Wei Mingdai also sensed it. Yu Yu has been looking forward to reuniting with her father for so many years, but she didn't expect it to be like this. You contributed greatly, so I have to thank you on her behalf. Wu Lingyu said. Just based on you. The two of them started fighting. Wu Lingyu was afraid of hurting Sima Yue and the rest, while Wei Mingdai was afraid of destroying Sunset Mountain. The two of them flew into the sky with tacit understanding. A battle of their level was not something this world could handle. At first, Wei Mingdai didn't think much of him. With his bone age, even if she didn't know how to increase his strength, his battle power wouldn't be that strong. But very quickly, she had no choice but to keep this thought away, because she realized that not only was he not weak, his battle power was stronger than hers. It was as if he had been through hundreds and thousands of battles like this. The two of them fought in the sky. The remaining people didn't dare to slack off. Zhang Hao looked at Sima Yue like a poisonous snake. He sneered. I really didn't expect that you have so many people around you. Were you the one who did all those things in the south of the city? That's right. I did do those things. At this point, Sima Yue didn't hide it anymore and admitted it. Were you the one who killed Zhang Shua? Zhang Hao stared at her. If she was the one who killed him, why didn't she receive any punishment from her oath? Not really. But after pulling out his claws, anyone can kill him. Sima Yue said. Oh right, I'll return this to you. Hua Hua. Hua Hua came out. With a wave of her hand, Pang Yuan appeared in front of everyone. No wonder the Pang family's secret technique couldn't find his whereabouts. So he was captured by your contracted beast. Zhang Hao, you're an old fart who lived for thousands of years. You're so petty all the time. Don't you feel tired? Sima Yue was disgusted by Zhang Hao, who was always against her. Didn't you want to kill me? Then let's settle this today. Ha ha ha. You're just a little doll who just entered monarch rank. You want to fight me? Zhang Hao seemed to have heard a funny joke, but slowly he couldn't laugh anymore, because the black fog slowly seeped out of Sima Yue's arm. As the manager of Ghost City, they knew this thing very well. This is that thing from the forbidden area. Why is it here? Zhang Hao's voice changed. If it was him who was dealing with Mi Air, he wouldn't have the confidence to do so. No wonder she didn't let Mi Air out when Wei Mingdai was around. It was because she had a way to seal him. But now that Wei Mingdai wasn't around, she let Mi Air out again. Don't call me that thing. My Mi Air has a name. Sima Yue said. Mi Air, didn't you always want to take revenge? Now that these people are in front of you, go. Sima Yue, we don't have any grudges against you. If you want to deal with Zhang Hao, we won't interfere. But, Sima Yue looked at Meng Sha. A wise man submits to circumstances. Although they were strong but in front of Mi Air, they didn't have much chance of winning. Since that was the case, they might as well find another way to survive. All right, as long as you don't do anything, I'll let you off today. She promised. The two of them didn't do anything to her before. If she didn't have to offend them, she didn't have to kill them. Moreover, if she let Wu Man go, if she let the other two go as well, it wouldn't seem so abrupt. Chapter 1371. Seeing that they had reached an agreement just like that, Zhang Hao shouted at Meng Sha. Meng Sha, what is the meaning of this? What else could it mean? Meng Sha sneered. You're the one who created this mess. Don't tell me you want to drag us down with you. From the beginning to the end, you were the one who wanted to kill her, not us. Even if that's the case, you should take them down together. Don't forget, they lied to the city lord and wanted to take this person away. The city lord will definitely let us kill them. Aren't you afraid that the city lord will blame you when he returns? Zhang Hao questioned. When Meng Sha and the others heard this, They frowned and wavered. That will depend on whether you can survive until Wei Mingdai returns. Sima Yue sneered. Let's not talk about whether she can come back. Even if she does, you're dead. Do you think she can save you? Meng Sha took a step back to show his attitude. He would not participate in this matter. Luo Qi hesitated for a moment and made the same choice. Needless to say, Wu Man would definitely not help Zhang Hao. You guys. Zhang Hao didn't expect the final outcome to be like this. Flustered and exasperated, he wanted to pull them together again. If the three of them could hold that thing back for a while, he could take the opportunity to escape. But he didn't expect that they wouldn't help him at all. However, Sima Yue did not give him a chance to speak. You are thinking that if they help you, you can escape while they are fighting with me air, right? Unfortunately, they won't help you at all. They won't give you the chance. What nonsense are you talking about? Zhang Hao shouted. He looked at Meng Sha and the others. As expected, their expressions became even uglier. If it was said that Meng Sha and the others were still somewhat hesitant before, then now they had already made their final choice. Regardless of whether Sima Yue was telling the truth or not, Zhang Hao was definitely capable of pulling someone down with him and escaping. Moreover, even if they joined in, they might not be able to defeat me air. They were all people who had lived for thousands of years, who wouldn't cherish their lives. Sima Yue had the intention to let them go. Why should they lose their lives because of someone like Zhang Hao? Don't listen to her nonsense. Zhang Hao still wanted to pull them together, but he only saw Meng Sha and the others retreat to the side with sullen faces. It seemed that he really did not intend to care about this matter. Zhang Hao, it seems like you're a failure as a person. Sima Yue said. If they were my friends, even if they knew that they couldn't win, they would still fight with me until the end. However, you ended up being betrayed by your friends and family. That's right. It's not surprising that someone as narrow-minded and selfish as you would end up like this. Mier, do it. Mier was already itching to give it a try. Not only did Zhang Hao lock him up, he even wanted to kill his master. The hatred in his heart was growing. It pounced toward Zhang Hao, but to its surprise, Zhang Hao didn't even put up a fight. He turned around and fled, trying to open up a spatial passageway as he flew. But no matter how he tried, the space didn't respond at all. Don't waste your energy. Ling Yu has sealed the space here. There's no way to open the space tunnel. Sima Yue reminded him kindly. Ah! Zhang Hao was so angry that he stopped running. He turned around and used a spirit technique on Mi-Air. Mi-Air was split into two by the spirit technique, but it immediately merged back together and continued to surround him. Sima Yue saw that nothing happened to Mi-Air, so she stopped paying attention to him and turned around to look at Sima Luxian. He was absorbing Qingyi and Little Seven's vitality. Although his body was getting better, his situation was still very dangerous. He'll be fine. Little Seven comforted her. Sima Yue hugged Little Seven and kissed her on the head, saying, "Thank you." What's there to thank? Little Seven was amused by Sima Yue's solemn thanks. Yu's father is our father. We saved our own father, what's there to thank? She and Qingyi had been by her side for so long, but she had never thought of taking their virginity. It was only right for them to help her. Moreover, she was her contracted beast. Sima Xiao and the rest looked at Little Seven, curious about her and Qingyi's identity. What Yue wanted to say just now was interrupted by these people. Little Seven felt their gazes and came out from Sima Yue's arms. She pounced into Huang Yingying's arms and said with a smile, "Grandpa, Grandma, don't think of eating Little Seven. Little Seven will be in pain." Huang Yingying was immediately charmed by her adorable look, and even half of the worry in her heart disappeared. Whoever dares to eat you, Grandma will break their legs. I knew it, Yu's grandpa and grandma must be very good. Little Seven acted coquettishly and didn't forget to flatter. But Huang Yingying and the rest really liked that look. Grandma, don't worry, Qingyi and I are here. Daddy will be fine. Little Seven comforted Huang Yingying, calling them Grandpa, Grandma and Daddy smoothly. I also see that his condition has improved a lot, Huang Yingying said. When they first rescued Sima Luxian, his vitality was almost depleted. If it couldn't be replenished, it wouldn't work even if he ate healing pills. but now his condition was improving. Although they didn't know what would happen in the end, his life was definitely saved. Sima Yue saw little Seven coaxing Huang Yingying so happily and laughed along. They were happy and harmonious here, but the other two people's thoughts were more complicated. Meng Sha and Luo Qi saw that she really ignored them, as if she really thought that they wouldn't do anything. She trusts us, Wu Man said. Or she doesn't think that we can pose a threat to them. Meng Sha said. Maybe it's both. Luo Qi looked at Sima Yu. He really didn't expect that such a young child would have so many powerful people around her. What's more, he didn't expect that she would quietly form a contract with the guy who made them all afraid. Ah! Zhang Hao's scream was heard. Everyone looked over and saw that his arm was chopped off by his other self. Everyone was shocked. How could there be two Zhang Haos? Who was the one who was injured? Mi-Er can imitate anyone and use the other party's spirit technique, as long as the other party has used it in front of him. This is an absolute imitation. Sima Yu voiced out, explaining their doubts. Absolute imitation? Everyone was shocked. Doesn't that mean that it can defeat everyone? That's not necessarily true. It's impossible for those who are too strong or whose spirit technique is too complicated. Sima Yu said. But it's not a problem for someone like Zhang Hao. Meng Sha and the rest were completely defeated. Zhang Hao's strength was similar to theirs. Didn't this mean that their result would be the same? At this moment, they were glad that they made the right choice. Chapter 1372. Boom. Zhang Hao and Mi-Er's spiritual techniques clashed, and even this side was affected. Sima Xiu quickly set up a defense to prevent the movement over there from disturbing Sima Lu Xian, who was recuperating. It was unknown whether Zhang Hao was injured or angered by Mi-Er, but he spat out a mouthful of blood. It was clearly a spiritual technique that he had painstakingly learned, yet he had learned it just like that. Mi-Er, stop playing. Sima Yu urged. Mi-Er acknowledged and stopped teasing Zhang Hao. He returned to his original form and enveloped him. When he shrunk again, Zhang Hao was only left with a pile of bones. Sima Yu noticed that he had spent more time than when he was dealing with Zhang Hu. When Meng Sha and the other two saw this scene, their hearts were fiercely shocked. Originally, it wasn't that Zhang Hao was strong enough, but that Mi-Er didn't use any strength at all. They still felt a little sad when they thought about how someone they had known for thousands of years had died just like that. Bang! Something suddenly fell from the sky. Everyone focused their eyes and saw that it was a severed arm. Those slender fingers obviously belonged to a woman. Then a few more pieces of clothes fell down, followed by Wu Lingyu. Sima Yu saw that his face was very pale and went forward to support him, asking, "Are you injured?" "We're not at our peak right now. It's indeed a little difficult to deal with them." Wu Lingyu clutched his chest as the blood in his body churned. "Hurry up and eat some pills to heal your injuries." Sima Yu grabbed his wrist and checked his pulse. After understanding his current situation, she took out a pill and fed it to him. Wu Lingyu swallowed the pill and instantly felt much better. "Father will take some time to wake up. You should rest here first," Sima Yu said. Although she actually wanted him to go to the Little Realm or the Spirit Pagoda, these people were still here, so she could only settle for the next best thing. Okay. Wu Lingyu sat down and began to meditate. Meng Sha and the others looked at the severed limbs on the ground, then looked at Wu Lingyu, who was injured but still in good condition. What else did they not understand? Wei Mingdai was killed by him. This result was too unexpected for them to digest for a while. Ghost City no longer had a city lord. If those people were to find out, how would they react? Furthermore, a manager had died. This ghost city would probably become chaotic, right? "Everyone, the show is over and the results are out. Can you all leave now?" Sima Yu asked. Wu Lingyu and Sima Lu Xian were healing, and she didn't want outsiders to be present. "Yue, it's not a good idea to let them recuperate here. Why don't we return to Ghost City?" Wu Man suggested. "There are so many people in Ghost City. No matter how many people we have, it will be troublesome to deal with them." Sima Yu said. Ant-Man, it's not that I don't trust you, but my father and the rest are injured. I have to be careful. But we don't feel at ease leaving you here in Sunset Mountain. Sima Yue was stunned. She immediately understood what they were worried about. Mushan was related to the safety of Ghost City. If they did anything at Mushan, there would be a huge upheaval there. Then you guys stay here and keep watch. We will leave in 2 days. But please don't disturb my father and the rest for these 2 days. Otherwise, don't blame me for not remembering our previous friendship. After saying that, she glanced at Meng Sha and Luo Qi. Although Meng Sha and the rest weren't happy with what she said, they were very strong now. 1 air was enough to make them wary, not to mention the others around her. These 2 days, Meng Sha and the rest were watching Yue and the rest from not far away. Wu Man had a good relationship with her before, and could even talk to her. Are you guys really leaving? Wu Man brought Sima Yue to a slope. Yes, Sima Yue said. Although my father seems to be recovering his vitality, his strength hasn't recovered. So, I think his internal injuries should be very serious. Father is a human. This is the border between the human and ghost realms. It's not suitable for him to recuperate here. That's true. But if you guys leave, you probably won't come here anymore. Wu Man said dejectedly. I don't think so. We'll use other methods to go to the ghost realm. Moreover, with my father's condition, I think he won't go out in the near future. Sima Yue looked at Wu Man. She was actually a very good woman. She liked her father but never thought of possessing him or pestering him. I hope he'll be fine. Wu Man looked at his white hair, and was full of heartache. Ant-Man, have you ever thought of fighting for him? Sima Yue was really curious. If she likes someone, she should at least confess and fight for him. Even if she was rejected, she had tried hard. Wu Man shook her head faintly and said, if it wasn't for these things, I might have tried when I met him. But when I saw him sacrificing his life to protect his relationship with your mother, I knew that even if I said it, the outcome would be the same. I might as well not say it. This way, if we meet again in the future, we can look at each other and smile, greet each other. Sima Yue didn't expect her to be so open-minded. But what she said made sense. Her father used such a method to reject Wei Mingdai. Naturally, he wouldn't accept anyone else. If she forced herself to tell him about her feelings, it would only increase their troubles. Oh right, Ghost City should be in a mess now, right? Aren't the 3 of you in a hurry to go back and settle it? If we have to worry about everything, Ghost City is so big. How can we manage it? Wu Man smiled. We have capable people too. Wei Mingdai and Zhang Hao are dead. What's going to happen to Ghost City in the future? Sima Yue asked. The City Lord's existence is to suppress that thing in the forbidden area. Since he's already contracted by you, there's no such threat. As for Zhang Hao's position, we can just find another person. You guys don't want to split the south of the city. What's there to split? Ghost City is so big. The 3 of us aren't greedy for power. We can't be bothered to care about Zhang family's mess. It's good to continue like this. Zhang family has so many enemies. Now that Zhang Hao has fallen, Zhang family will be miserable in the future. I think what Zhang family regrets the most is offending you. If they didn't offend her, Zhang Hao might not have died. Sima Yue smiled and didn't say anything. 2 days passed by in a flash. According to her prediction, Sima Luxian woke up. Wu Lingyu woke up before him. But because she was about to fall asleep, she looked very listless. Everyone will leave now. After today's farewell, we'll meet again. But, I think you guys won't want to see me again. Sima Yue cupped her hands at them. She opened the teleportation array that Wu Man gave her, and let everyone in. Chapter 1373. As Sima Yue and the rest were not heading towards the other world, they did not encounter any lightning tribulations. When they came out again, they were already at the exit. The southern desolation swamp is in front. Sima Luyun said. Bring them to the little realm first. They were referring to Wu Lingyu and Sima Luxian, as well as Third Mo and Di Wu. One of them was about to fall asleep, and the other 3 had not recovered from their injuries. When they went out, there would be a spatial compression, which would not be good for the two of them. Sima Yue nodded and said, "You can all go in. Take care of them while you're at it." "All right." Sima Yue opened the little realm and let everyone in. She went out alone. When she passed through that layer of space, she felt an obvious pressure. When the pressure disappeared, she had already walked out of the range of the mountain. She looked back and saw the sun setting in the west. The sun sets in the west. Humans and ghosts are connected. "One day, I will go to the other side of Ghost City," she muttered. Miss, you actually came back alive." A surprised voice came from the swamp below her. She looked down and saw that it was the little Loach she had seen when she first came here. "Miss, you've been gone for 2 to 3 years. I thought you wouldn't be able to come out." Little Loach wasn't afraid of Sima Yue and started chatting with her. 2 or 3 years. That's right, you've been in there for 2 to 3 years. What's wrong? You don't know? Little Loach saw how surprised she was and wondered if she had lost her memory. Sima Yue thought about it. She had stayed in Ghost City for 3 to 4 months, but 2 to 3 years had passed outside. It seemed that the flow of time inside and outside was different. "I understand. Thank you, Little Loach." Sima Yue thanked Little Loach. Then he took out the teleportation array, activated it, and entered. "I didn't do anything." Little Loach didn't know why this person apologized to him before leaving. He couldn't understand the thoughts of humans. The spirit beasts in the swamp were still the most naive. However, she was the only one who came out of so many people. It seemed that those people were all dead. She must have lost her mind. Little Loach thought as it swam away. When Sima Yue came out again, she was already in the nearest city outside Heartbreak Valley. She found a place and released everyone. After Xiaotong came out, he said to Sima Yue, "Sister Yue, I have completed the task that Master gave me. I have to go back now." "Why are you in such a hurry?" Sima Yue did not expect him to leave as soon as he returned. "Master's health isn't good. It's better for me to return early," Little Helper said. "If that's the case, I won't keep you any longer. Take this communication stone. If you need anything in the future, look for me," Sima Yue said. "All right. This is a thank you gift. Without your help, I wouldn't have been able to save my father." Sima Yue took out the communication stone and a small box and passed them to Little Helper. "How can that be? We already agreed on this matter." Little Helper wanted to reject it but was stopped by Sima Yue. "You will need it," Sima Yue said. "Besides, some friendships can't be settled with a transaction." "All right then. Thank you, Sister Yue." Little Helper kept the items and activated the one-time teleportation array before walking in. When he appeared in the divination room, Lin, who was recuperating, felt it. Not long later, Little Helper's voice sounded outside his door. "Master, disciple is back. Come in." Little Helper pushed the door open and bowed when he saw Lin. "Master, disciple did not disappoint you. It's been hard on you." Lin nodded. "What gift did she give you?" "It's this." Disciple didn't have time to take a look. "Master, can't you calculate it?" Little Helper was a little surprised. Didn't Master only need to sense for such a small matter? Could it be that his injuries worsened? That shouldn't be the case. They used the teardrop mineralite that Yue gave him. Master's injuries should be better. "I can't calculate this gift," Lin said. "Then open it and you will know." Little Helper opened the box and was shocked when he saw what was inside. "Master, it's a teardrop mineralite." Teardrop mineralite? Lin was also very surprised. Little Helper turned the box around, and there was indeed a teardrop mineralite lying inside. "I didn't expect Sister Yue to have a teardrop mineralite. Master, with this, your injuries can be completely healed. It can even increase your lifespan," Little Helper said excitedly. "It seems that everything is fated." Lin seemed to feel something and said, "I'm afraid that I can't cut off my entanglement with her." "Master, didn't you say that Sister Yue is a person of great luck? Even if it's related, it's still a good thing." Little Helper didn't share his worries. Besides, after interacting with Sister Yue, she's a very good person. She's a friend worth making. Lin looked at the smile on his face, and suddenly an image appeared in front of him. PFFF. Little Helper. A long sword pierced through Little Helper's heart from behind. Sima Yoyue's voice came from not far away. She was running towards him, but she couldn't catch his falling body. The image disappeared in a flash. Lin looked at Little Helper with a dark gaze and said, "What if she brings disaster to you?" "Master, didn't you ask her to take care of me? This means that she might not bring disaster to me." Little Helper was very open-minded. "If something really happens in the future, then it's my fate." Lin opened his mouth but didn't say anything. He waved his hand and asked him to leave. Fate, huh? Perhaps he should let things take their natural course. Even if he forcefully changed things, there might not be a better outcome. On the other side, Sima Yue brought everyone to Memory Restaurant. When the manager of Memory Restaurant saw Sima Yue, his eyes lit up and he quickly came forward to bow. However, he was stopped by Sima Yue with a wave of her hand. "Manager, arrange a courtyard for me." The courtyard at the back has always been tidied up. "Deputy Valley Lord, please follow me." The manager brought them to the courtyard at the back. Because Sima Yue had considered this situation, every Memory Restaurant had a separate courtyard at the back. "Deputy Valley Lord, the Valley Lord has instructed me to report back immediately if there is any news about you," the manager said. Go ahead," Sima Yue said. "Other than Feng or an old bai, if anyone else comes, tell them that I'm not back yet." "Yes, Deputy Valley Lord." The manager accepted the order and left. Sima Yue brought Sima Luxian into the house to lie down. Although his body had recovered a lot, he was still very weak. "Father, let me check your body." She went to check his pulse as she spoke. Sima Luxian grabbed her hand and said, "Check it later. Let father take a good look at you first." Chapter 1374. Previously he had been in a daze. Otherwise he would be in the little realm. They were worried about his health, so they didn't have a good chat. He really didn't expect that the one who came to save him would be his own daughter. When he left, she was still a baby. In the blink of an eye, she was already a slender and elegant young lady. Moreover, she was such a powerful girl. Well, he had ignored all the other people who had saved him, including his parents. Sima Yue sat beside the bed and said, "Father, you've only just recovered your life force. I still have to check your body and prescribe some pills to heal you. Moreover, in your current state, it's better for you to speak less. Let's have a good chat after you've recovered, okay?" Sima Luxian looked at her face that was 70% similar to Yu Kuluo's and nodded subconsciously. Sima Yue smiled. She pulled her hand out and grabbed his wrist again to check his pulse. Her smile did not change, but her eyebrows were slightly furrowed. "Child, how is your father?" Huang Yingying stood at the side and asked worriedly. Sima Yue let go of Sima Luxian's hand and said, "Father's life is in our hands now. As for his injury, it's hard to say. Injuries can be slowly healed, as long as you're alive." Huang Yingying heaved a sigh of relief. Sima Xiuqi looked at Sima Yue and his eyes flashed. Sima Yue then gave Sima Luxian a pill and 2 drops of soul fluid. She gave him a few needles to relieve his injuries and put him to sleep before everyone left together. "Yue, come here. Grandpa has a few questions for you," Sima Xiuqi said to Sima Yue the moment he came out. The serious look on his face made the others nervous, and they all followed him. Sima Yue could already guess what he was going to ask her. "How is your father's situation?" Sima Xiuqi asked. "Tell us the truth." Sima Yue sighed in her heart. Indeed, she could not hide it from him. "Father's life is indeed not in danger now," she said. But what?" Huang Yingying grabbed her hand. "Father's meridians have been completely corroded by the death aura, because he had been forcefully absorbing it for a long time. His spiritual sea was also completely dried up. Even if he survives now, I'm afraid he won't be able to cultivate when he recovers." Sima Yue said. "What?" Huang Yingying fell backwards at once and was caught by Sima Yue. Sima Xiuqi, who was by the side, also felt the need to support her. "Yu, your father can't cultivate anymore?" Sima Lufeng and the others couldn't accept this fact. He was once an influential figure of his generation, but now he was told that he would be a piece of trash in the future. How could he accept this? Based on the current situation, I can't be completely sure. But according to my investigation, the possibility is very high. Sima Yue said. If Xian'er can't cultivate. Huang Yingying's heart ached for her son as she leaned weakly against her husband. At least his life was saved. Our efforts were not in vain. Sima Xiuqi was more open-minded. However, I'm afraid you're the only one who can talk to Xian'er. Sima Yue nodded. If her father really couldn't cultivate, then perhaps she, as his daughter, would be his consolation. Grandma, don't be too sad. I'll go back and flip through those ancient books. Maybe I can find a way to cure father. Sima Yue comforted. Is there a way? Everyone heard her say this and suddenly had hope. I don't dare to say if there's really a way. I need to see how father's body recovers and see if there are any similar records in the ancient books. Sima Yue said. Seeing Huang Yingying's sad expression, she couldn't bear it and continued. But I think that the possibility is still quite high. The world is so big and there are so many mysterious creatures. Maybe there's a way to solve this problem. Really? Huang Yingying seemed to have seen a glimmer of hope as she held her hand even tighter. Grandma, I can only say that I'll try my best. Sima Yue didn't dare to make a promise. But she thought so too. The world was so big and everything had its counter. Maybe there was something that could cure him. Then when will your father get better? Sima Luyan asked. If it's just his body without spiritual energy to protect it, it might take half a year for him to fully recover. Sima Yue said. But to confirm if he can be cured, it will take 1 to 2 years. That's so long. Then child, are you coming home with us? Huang Yingying asked. Grandma, I still have things to do. It's not convenient for me to go back now. Once I'm done, I'll go back to see you. In the end, she still didn't want to go back now. You forget it. There's no rush to make a decision now. Let's wait until your father wakes up. Sima Xiuqi knew that his granddaughter was stubborn. It was useless to force her. It would have the opposite effect instead. Once she thought it through, she would naturally go back. But he didn't know if that old man at home would be furious when he knew about this result. Everyone is tired. Go back and rest. Sima Yue said. I'll inform you if there's any news about father. Okay. I'll stay and take care of him. Huang Yingying said. Then I'll come along too. Sima Xiuqi said. Okay. Even at their age, their children were still children in their eyes. Everyone found their own rooms to rest. Sima Yue went to check on Third Mo's injuries, then went to check on Diwu. Diwu's performance that day really made her look at him in a new light. Seeing that he had such serious injuries, he could only lie on the bed. After settling him down, she let him lie alone in the house. Diwu was resting. He opened his eyes when he sensed her coming in. Young miss, is your father all right? We're not sure yet. Let me check on you. Sima Yue walked over and sat by the bed. She held his hand and started checking. He's recovering quite well. With pills, he'll be fine in a few days. Thank you, young Mississippi. Diwu looked at the hand on his wrist and blushed. What are you thanking me for? I should be thanking you. Sima Yue said. If it wasn't for you, father wouldn't have been saved. He even caused you to suffer such serious injuries. This is what I should do. To be able to do things for young miss, I can boast to my brothers when I go back. Diwu smiled. Uft. You're still thinking about this at this time. Sima Yue glared at him. All right, recuperate well and get better soon. When you're better, I'll cook something nice for you. Chapter 1375. After Sima Yue saw Diwu, she went to the little realm to see Wu Lingyu. At this time, he had already fallen asleep. He was very relieved to be in her place. Sima Yue looked at his sleeping face and kissed him gently. But this time he didn't wake up. He laughed and teased her for stealing a kiss. She checked his pulse and made sure that he was only asleep. Only then did she relax. However, because he had used his spiritual energy before falling asleep this time, And it had been such a fierce battle. He didn't know when he would wake up this time. In order to observe him better, she brought him into the spirit pagoda. Here, as long as he felt the slightest discomfort, she would know in time. After making sure that he was fine, she went to the place where the books were stored, and began to quickly search for medical books to see if she could find any related books. Other than Little Roar, all the other beasts transformed into their human forms and helped her to search for similar cases. However, after searching through thousands of books, they did not find a single one. Was there really no other way? Sima Yue was a little disappointed, but she did not intend to give up. No matter what, she had to find a way to restore her father's strength. If it were anyone else, they would have died long ago after being soaked in the death aura for decades. There are no such examples, which means that your father is very powerful. Don't be discouraged. Qingyi was more knowledgeable and comforted her. Sima Yue nodded. I won't give up. I will find a cure for my father. Not here, I'll look for it somewhere else. The world is so big, someone is bound to know. NN, we will accompany you, Little Seven said. It's a pity that Qingyi and I can't do anything about this kind of injury. Otherwise, we can just use our R and essence blood. Sima Yue patted Little Seven's head. Thank you. With you guys around, I'm never alone. It's great. Hey you, there are so many books here. If you don't have time, leave them all to us. Little Roar giggled as he said. Sima Yue grabbed Little Roar's neck and said, the one who has the least right to say this is you. Who else hasn't transformed yet? I don't want to transform right now. Little Roar blinked his large eyes in grievance. My injuries haven't healed yet. Stop it. Others don't know I know it. Your injuries have healed long ago, but you just don't want to transform. Why? Sima Yu mercilessly exposed its lies. You being struck by lightning, it's so painful. You will. But my hair's hair, I'll become bald. I don't. So ugly. Little Roar complained. You. This is the real reason why you want to transform, right? Sima Yu used her other hand to poke its head. Little Roar's 4 little legs were curled up together as he looked pitifully at Sima Yu. I really lose to you. She placed it on the table. Yu, it likes its own fur so much. When we go back, let's take a pair of scissors and cut it off. Little Seven said with a smile. Dawns. Little Dream, save me. Little Roar saw Little Seven sharpening his knife and immediately jumped into Little Dream's embrace. Little Meng hugged Little Roar. Seeing that he was trembling in fear, she smiled. Who asked you to care so much about your hair? You can bleed and break your head, but you can't mess up your hairstyle. Do you understand? Little Roar poked his head out from her embrace. If you want to cut my hair, I'll go on a hunger strike. Oh, are you threatening us? Everyone laughed. Ling Long, come. Transform into a pair of scissors. Let's see if he'll really go on a hunger strike since he likes to eat so much. Okay. Ling Long was very cooperative. She shook her body and transformed into a pair of sharp scissors. Little Roar screamed when he saw Little Seven holding a pair of scissors. Little Meng, save me. Woo. I don't want to become a scab. He hugged Little Meng even tighter. Little Meng laughed. All right, stop teasing him. He's trembling like a sieve. Only you pamper him. Little Seven looked helplessly at Little Meng. Ever since she regained her memories, she had changed a lot. Only Little Roar could make her laugh. Back then, the rose garden was still there. Every time Little Dream was tormented by her memories, she would go to the rose garden and smell the fragrance of the flowers. She would recall the scene of Little Roar's fat body using his claws that had yet to transform, holding Yu's precious heaven's halberd, and squatting on the ground to dig a hole for her to plant roses. Her mood would be much better. That was why she pampered Little Roar a little more. Woo, Little Seven and Ling Long are so bad. Little Roar complained. Little Seven is just joking with you. How could I really cut it for you? Little Meng said. I'm serious. Everyone wants to see this guy go on a hunger strike. Little Seven waved the scissors in her hand. Want to see? Little Golden, who couldn't even speak properly, ran over to join in the fun. Even Little Golden bullies me. Little Roar was sad. Other than little Meng, no one else helped him. Ha ha ha. Everyone laughed. Little Golden coiled around Sima Yoyue's wrist and stuck out its tongue at Little Roar. That little gaze was very obvious. It wanted to bully you. Sima Yoyue's mood was much better from the beast's antics. At this moment, Little Spirit said to her, "Someone is here to look for you." "Then I'll go out. I'll leave the books here to you guys," Sima Yue said. You don't worry." The moment Sima Yue went out, she heard a knock on the door. She opened the door and saw Shimin Feng, Bai Sheng and the rest outside. "Sister." Shimin Feng's voice was still travel-worn. "Boss."Nie and the rest were very happy to see her. Sima Yue didn't expect Feng Ji and the other 10 brothers to come too. She said, "Why are you all here? Is there no one in the valley?" "When we got the news that you were back, we were all together. They were all clamoring to come and see you," Shimin Feng explained. "Where did you all rush over from?" Sima Yue saw that they were a little tired. "Let's go to the living room." She brought them to the living room and personally brewed a cup of tea for each of them. She said, "This tea can help you concentrate and get rid of fatigue." "Thank you, boss." Everyone drank a mouthful of the tea she brewed. Indeed, they felt much more awake. "Why do you all look so tired?" Sima Yue returned to her seat and drank a mouthful of tea. "We are currently suppressing Huaiyang Palace and Zhongzheng clan. Now is the crucial time, so we are a little busy," Shimin Feng said. "Did you find your father this time?" "I did find him, but the situation isn't very good," Sima Yue said. "Let's not talk about this first. Tell me about the current situation in the valley." Chapter 1376. In the 3 years that you were not here, we have already disintegrated their economy, and now it's time to close the net. Shimin Feng said, "Their economy has been tight this year, and they are about to go bankrupt." "Thank you for your hard work." Sima Yue did not expect them to be able to handle things so well in such a short time. It showed how much effort they had put in these days. No wonder they looked so tired despite being cultivators. "Boss, it's good that you're back. We were worried that you wouldn't be able to return before the final battle,"Nie said. "Actually, I only stayed in Ghost City for 3 to 4 months. It's just that time passes slower there," Sima Yue said. "Boss, why don't you tell us what the Ghost City is like? We can go and play in the future," Dai said with a grin. "Forget about it. If you guys go, you might not be able to come back," Sima Yue said. "It can't be. Are all the people inside so powerful? It's not about whether I'm powerful or not. It's just that I killed their city lord and a steward. If you go, you might be targeted for revenge." "Ah, you even killed their city lord? Why? Could it be that he wants to force you to be his mistress?" "She's a woman," Sima Yue said. "However, she wanted to snatch my father away and forced him into this state. Killing her is already letting her off lightly." When she thought of her father's appearance, her tone turned cold. "Ah, who would have thought that something like this would happen?" Sima Yue then told them about Sima Luxian and Ghost City. Everyone present was full of respect for Sima Luxian. "Sister, you don't have to worry about the matters in the valley. Just focus on saving your father. We'll let you know when the final battle begins," Shimin Feng said. "That's right, boss. You just have to participate in the final battle and see how they are destroyed with your own eyes." Although they didn't know that Sima Yue was Shimin Yue, they knew that she hated these two forces. She could teach them everything in the beginning, but she definitely had to participate in the final battle. Otherwise, she would regret it for the rest of her life. "Alright, thank you for your hard work." Sima Yue did not refuse. It was indeed more important to treat her father now. But don't work too hard. This isn't something that can be done in a day or 2. "We understand. Just wait for our good news. Just let me know if you need anything. I'll do my best to help you," Sima Yue said. "Don't worry, we will tell you if we need anything," Shimin Feng said. They knew what Sima Yue was capable of. If they really needed her help, they would definitely ask her for help. After that, they talked about the situation in the valley. Although she was a hands-off boss, she still knew what she needed to know. Shimin Feng and the others stayed here for a day, and left early in the morning of the second day. Now was the most crucial time, and if they all left, there would be no one to oversee this place. Sima Luxian also woke up after sleeping for a day. With the treatment from Sima Yoyue's system, he recovered much faster than just taking pills. He could even lift his hands and feet. Sima Yue pierced silver needles all over his body. Being naked in front of his own child made him, who was always calm, a little shy. Seeing the faint blush on his face, she smiled in her heart. She didn't expect her father to be so shy. She removed the needles and covered him with a quilt. Then, she picked up the porridge that Huang Yingying had just brought in and sat by the bed, ready to feed him. My injury, will it never recover? Sima Luxian asked. Sima Yue was stunned. Sure enough, she knew his body best. Father, do you know what I'm most thankful for? She didn't answer but asked instead. What is it? I'm thankful that I was able to rush to Ghost City in time. I'm also thankful that you're still alive, and that I can see you again. This let me know what my father looks like. I've been thinking about him for decades. Although Grandpa and the others are very good to me, I can't help but think, what do my parents look like? If they were by my side, would they love me like other parents love their children? Would they spoil me? Or would they scold me with a straight face when I make a mistake? So father is still alive. To me, I've found half of my happiness. When I find my mother, I'll be satisfied. Sima Yoyue's face lit up with a happy smile. It's been hard on you all these years, child. Sima Luxian said guiltily. Although it was because of the situation at that time, he still felt sorry for not being able to accompany her as she grew up. From her words, he got the answer he wanted. If he really couldn't recover, then he would spend the rest of his days with her, love her, and watch her grow up. Father, no matter what you look like, you're still my father. Sima Yue freed a hand to hold his hand. And you have to believe me, your daughter's medical skills are very good. I'll definitely cure you. You're so narcissistic, you're really like your mother. Sima Luxian said with a smile. All right, father won't ask anymore. I'll believe you wholeheartedly. No matter whether you can be cured or not, father will accompany you. I'm a happy child with father by my side. Sima Yue said. Come, I'll feed you porridge. Sima Luxian didn't like to eat liquid food, but it was another matter if it was his daughter who fed him. Father, you have no spiritual power in your body now, so you have to eat. You're injured, so you can only eat liquid food. Sima Yue explained while feeding him. Grandma said you don't like to eat liquid food, but there's no other way now. I cooked this porridge myself and asked Grandma to bring it in when it's time. Therefore, you must finish this bowl. All right. No matter what his daughter's request was, he must satisfy it. In fact, Sima Yue didn't give him much to eat, only half a small bowl. After eating, she chatted with him for a while. Most of the time, it was her talking while he listened. She told him about her past experiences, as well as the things she had heard from others. Sima Luxian's heart was filled with emotions when he heard about her. His precious daughter had suffered so much in order to become stronger. Although she only mentioned the good things, he understood that no matter who it was, to grow into someone who could make the whole continent tremble in such a short period of time, they had to put in a lot of effort and hardships. He was proud of her, and his heart ached for her. By the way, father, the seal in my body was sealed by grandfather, right? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Uncle Lu Feng and the others said that after I spoke, both of you were emptied of spiritual power. What happened? You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.